Paul been hurt. Every playoffs we talked about this. But Chris Paul get hurt.
Funhouse active.
We knew this was coming.
King of the palace. Rubber like Malcolm. Ball up fist in the air to the fastest.
We still got the most talent.
Hands up in the air that they gun me down.
Chris Paul was a forward.
I keep it on it, they crunching the numbers, I'm getting wild. Young nigga got a fetish for success. If I ain't next, then I just leave him pressure. Next to rain on the window pane, puffy plain Jane. Let him second guess me, wanna cop the Porsche with the porcelain skin. Grip the wheels at the horses. Why they trash another chore on my list? Out of this orbit, I saw with the pen. I'm eating good, Miss Caloric as shit. I sipped the potion and poured it in. I on the tide when she poured it. Opportunity, knock at the door, then I grip. They rush for the doors, and they open like bliss. Pin stroke, game cold as the fridge. Sound wave for like more than...
Yo, welcome back. We are back again. Epic Podcast. Today with only 3 of us. We're missing Ike today, man. He has some other stuff going on. So we got Jared and we got Justin in the house today. What's up, y'all?
That's good.
Nothing much, man. How was y'all weekends?
Same old shit, bro.
Same.
I can't even remember. Same thing. Can't remember.
Any volleyball this weekend, Justin?
I don't even remember. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm trying. When Jared said that, I'm trying to think right now. What did I do this weekend?
I have no idea, bro.
I'll be honest. I can't remember at this moment, brother.
Dang. Okay. Well, every weekend ain't eventful. Man. That's cool.
Nah.
That's cool. Well, let's jump into some topics, man.
No, I didn't have it this weekend. I don't think. No.
You sure? You still trying to remember?
I'm trying to remember. You didn't call me out on it. I'm trying to remember.
Normally it's like, oh man, yeah, we was gone Friday to Sunday, 13 hours. We have to drive to Timbuktu.
Nah, I'm trying to remember, man. I'm trying to do a lot today, so my mind is in about 10 different places.
All right, understandable. Let me get these topics up here, man. How y'all think we ain't gonna start there. We're gonna start in the NBA, man, with these matchups. Man, what y'all think is going? Let's start with this Denver series, this Denver Phoenix series. What y'all think going on with Phoenix, man? Everybody kind of picked them to come out the West. What's going on?
Man.
You didn't pick them?
No, I didn't pick them.
Hey, I couldn't tell you. I don't know what the coaching is doing. I mean, they got some guys on the bench that's not getting no tick. They got guys that's getting time that ain't worth a damn. I mean, the Phoenix Suns have Landry Shamet on the bench, T.J. Warren on the bench. Them guys can't get no time on the court, and y'all struggling to score. I mean, they scored 87 points the other night. Like that ain't gonna get it done. And now, of course, Chris Paul hurt. Like it's ugly.
Yeah, definitely them guys. Like, I don't know. You wouldn't think they would have trouble scoring with KD and Book.
Exactly.
Even Aiden. Like, I mean, they're big 3. If you want to look at it as a big 3, like usually that's their scoring right there. They got their big man. I mean,
big
of course,
3.5
is a 3-level score. Right. I mean,
but to my point, what I was speaking on before we went live is that they haven't had a whole bunch of time to figure out their offense. Like a lot of the times you'll see Chris Paul and Booker in the action, and then KD is kind of just off to the side. He doesn't know what's going on. Great talent, if you want to play your turn, my turn, cool. But he's just off to the side. Ayton is just standing there looking crazy. It's a lot going on. I just don't think they really figured out how they want to play and how they want to approach the game. So, and they're struggling because of that.
Do you think that's because of Chris Paul not being there?
Nah, I mean Chris Paul just missed one game.
I'm just saying. I don't. Hey.
With him there, they just don't look. Like I said, you see Chris Paul
because they won like 13 straight with KD being there, right? Like towards the end of the season, wasn't it like?
We're talking about the playoffs, correct?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, you said this team hasn't had a lot of time to gel together, and I know they won a couple games in a row, like since he's been there, because he was hurt.
I feel like in the playoffs it's showing that they haven't had time to really figure out how they want to approach all the talent in the world. The talent will get you games. Having overload of talent will get you games. Not really figuring out how you want to attack with that talent can kind of make you struggle. I mean, then they're going up against the number 1 seed.
That's what I was about to say. Do we give Denver any credit?
That's
a question.
I got some credit.
I mean, you do.
Not obvious, but
But let's just be real. One, Jared already said coaching. I think in the playoffs, a lot of coaches get exposed
Yeah.
because I think that shows your ability to adjust, so on
Absolutely.
and so
Yep.
forth. Two players you didn't mention to go along with the other ones who ain't getting no clock is Darius Baisley and Terrence Ross. They
Yeah,
also
I
are
actually
riding.
I
Yeah,
forgot they
placed
had
on
Terrence
yeah,
Terrence
Ross.
yeah.
Ross.
Hey,
They all
Terrence Ross is
he's also
nice.
Instant
he's a
bucket.
walking bucket. But again,
Wow.
he's sitting on the bench.
But you
Then
got
PJ Warren,
Isaiah
I
Wainwright
kind of understand because
playing.
he been hurt. You really don't know what you're gonna get right now. Like he ain't really played a lot this year, so like, do you want to put him out there and just really not know? But I mean, at this time, when you're
when you're
down
struggling,
0-2,
you do. When you're
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm
struggling
saying.
in
Like when you're
games, you
down
do.
0-2 or when you're struggling in these games, like Jerry was saying, like just put these guys out and just see. You never know. You may need to throw them 10 minutes and just kind of build on it and see what happens.
Plus, I think two things that you got to if you watch these games, you got to remember. First and foremost is going into this playoffs. If I'm not mistaken, as far as their entire core playing together, it's like 15 or 20 games. That's it.
Yeah,
They haven't
that's
played much together,
yeah,
so they haven't had it. To Jared's point, they haven't had a lot of time to figure it out. And then the second thing is, I'll be honest, their daggone offense is Manila. Booker and KD shoot 60 to 70% of their shots every
Exactly.
game.
Yeah.
That's not going to be a recipe to beat good teams. That's
yeah,
why
Yeah.
Denver's having success. Because Denver's realized, yeah, we're not trying to stop Booker and KD. We're just going to make it difficult for them. Because if
yeah.
we can
Right.
get one of them to have an off night, they don't have an
Yeah.
adjustment. They don't have a plan B to get scoring because they don't play anybody else.
That
So
makes
I
sense.
like Monty, but I'll be real. I think and I don't think Mike Malone can coach. That's the funny thing. I don't think Denver's coach can coach at all.
Yeah,
But Monty's getting out coached in this series.
but you know what? We've been kind of saying that about Monty in the playoffs. Like
Correct.
it's
Yep.
been happening.
Mm-hmm.
Even like I was saying that year, even as the year they went to the finals,
Yep.
like
Yeah.
that
That was
whole thing with
disastrous.
Milwaukee, they was like,
Yep.
they didn't
Disaster.
build the wall, they didn't do, what they needed to do to stop Giannis, which cost them a championship.
Yep.
Oh,
Um,
facts. Facts. Yeah.
so like he's had these type of meltdowns before in the playoffs,
And then
and
the
it's
one against
just
Dallas, I
crazy.
still don't know what happened there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep, that's what I'm saying. Like,
That basically gift wrapped it
Yes.
the
Yes.
Warriors a championship because I think that Suns team beats that
that,
Warrior team
yep,
fairly
It's very
convincingly too. That's just my personal opinion, but of course, they didn't get the match. It's all about matchups. I think
I agree.
I think the Warriors would have the Suns would have matched up well against the Warriors, way better than Dallas did, but they just literally turned over to the Dallas Mavericks. I still haven't been able to figure out what happened there.
Yeah, that was crazy too. And like you said, now this is 3 years in a row. You're looking at a
Yep.
possible, exit because of coaching and not ability to match up and be creative on offense. Like, yes,
Yep.
you got Devin Booker who can go and get you 50. You got KD who could get you 50. Like, you know, Aiden's a double double walking. You know what I mean? Chris Paul double double walking. Like, but like at some point you got to in the playoffs anyway. Like when you got to play a team possibly 7 times, at least 4 times. Like you got to change something up.
And
Like
that's kind of what alarmed me about their first round series too. I mean, you got Devin Booker dropping 45, 49 or whatever, and they're beating Kawhi-less and Paul George-less
barely
Clippers team by 2 or 5.
battling.
But see,
You battling
That's Ty
against
Lue
you
coaching.
battling against
But
who
see,
is
that's
it?
Ty Lue
Westbrook.
coaching too, though. You know
Yeah,
what I
that,
mean?
No,
that,
no,
That's
that's what I'm
Ty
no.
Lue.
saying. Like
Clippers
I
play
give Ty Lue
ball.
credit
They
with
they
that
got all
because
my respect.
yeah,
Like I have nothing ill to say about the Clippers or Ty Lue. So now I give you that because whatever men they throw out there on that court, they gonna play a basketball
Yep.
game.
And they gonna play
You know,
hard.
yeah,
They gonna play hard.
you're not one thing you're not going to do with the Clippers team led by Ty Lue is they're not
you're
going to
not gonna
put themselves
outcoach
in a
him. Yeah,
situation
no, no,
where
no,
you feel sorry for them. They're
Yep.
not going to do that.
no. They
They're going to
battle,
play whoever next man up. So
and
all
I kind of
respect.
look at like Miami like that too. Like just
Yep,
kind of
that's a
sliding over to
very
that
Yep.
good
next series,
comparison.
that New York,
Yep.
Very
Miami.
good
That's
comparison.
how they always play. Like, and like I said, I know we've had side conversations about Eric Spoelstra and whatever, and his ability to coach
Spoken
or whatnot.
coach.
But I
Spoken
think,
coach.
like you said, I really
Real
think he
shit.
can coach, and I really think that like he really that next man up, and he puts his team in positions like just through what he do in his schemes and his offense, like especially his offense schemes. Like it's crazy how he get people open, but the way they play is just it's real tough basketball, and you can
It's
really
like
plug and play.
it's like what he's getting out of Miami. I mean, it was one point in the fourth quarter. I think they had Max Strus out there,
Yep,
Gabe Vincent,
yep.
uh,
Duncan
That's how they ended
Robinson.
their last game,
Yeah.
and they
and
still almost won.
they're competing on
Yeah,
the road
it's
in the
Yeah.
Bam,
playoffs.
Kevin Love, it's Bam, Kevin Love, Vincent Strauss, and Lowry. That was the last.
At one point, Bam wasn't even in there because that's
Nope.
one thing he
It
does
was not
now compared to what he did, back
before.
when
Hmm.
LeBron and D Wade was there. When somebody's not performing, he sits them down,
Yep.
Yeah,
and that's something that I respect him for as well.
yeah,
So
yeah. No,
if
they
you ain't
like you
doing the
said, they
job,
battling with a
you know,
solid Knicks team who's another team that's just playing hard, man. Like they don't look
They're not
good.
very good though.
That's what I'm saying.
Thibodeau
It
got
never
some
looks good,
questionable.
but it's just like you just be like, man, you be looking, they just right there.
Yeah, I don't think they're very good overall, though. One thing, like I'm not a fan of Thibodeau as a coach in terms of what I've
No,
seen with his, in other previous teams or any of that.
Right.
I'm not high on him as a coach. I'll say that those guys do play hard. I'll give them that, but the one thing they still can't. Their offense is horrendous.
But you
Like
know
their
what?
offense is
Thibodeau has always had a
horrendous.
horrible offense, no matter where he's been.
Part of his
He's
problem as a
and
coach is he's never
he's
brought in
another
somebody who's an offensive mind to
But
help
I
put
mean,
him on
he's
the
but like
floor.
another
you said, they
coach that
play
I
hard on
question who
defense
they
and they
play.
hustle.
Like
But like their offense has always been horrible. What did you saying, Jared? My bad.
he's another coach that I question like the roster moves.
Oh yeah,
I
hundred
mean, it's
percent,
like, I
hundred
mean,
percent.
you got by no means am I saying D Rose and
No,
Evan
That's
but go
Fournier
ahead.
another.
Go
are,
ahead.
Yes.
are
Go ahead and say
anything.
it though. Go ahead and
Why
Like I
do
say
you
it.
said,
not play
but
D
come on,
Rose?
Quentin. No, not Quentin Grimes. He's pretty good.
Grimes.
But I mean, Miles.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, you can't tell me that he's better than D Rose.
Nah.
Nah.
And then it even goes back a couple years before that, even with Kimball Walker.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
if you don't realistically think that you can get 15 out of Kimball Walker any given game, any given night, something's wrong with you.
Even bad knee Kimba.
Easy.
Right.
Man.
No matter what. And I saw it was a stretch where he was completely out of the rotation. It's like, dude, what are you doing? Honestly, I'm not, obviously rather, I'm not in practice. I'm not around these guys all day, so I'm not knowing what's going on, what's being done, what's not being done. But
Right.
hey man, you cannot tell me
These
that
guys just
those guys
lose
can't
it
give you
like that.
anything. Evan Fournier can give you 12 to 15 points, and
That's
that might be
another
that
one.
12 to 15
Yep.
points that you need to
Like
win.
these are guys that like now that we're talking about him, I'm like, that's right, he is on there. That's
Yep.
right, they do got him. Like these
Yeah,
guys
man.
are sitting on the bench that can be serious contributors. Because I'm telling
Seriously.
you, if the Knicks keep playing the way they playing, when Jimmy come back, it's just gonna be done.
Oh yeah, it's over.
They
Yeah,
may
because
run off three
Miami too.
straight. If he plays tomorrow, they may run off three straight.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
The
that's
funny thing is that I have yet to see, and maybe I'm wrong, but especially against Miami. Miami does not have a big team at all. But I
no,
have
no,
yet to
not
see.
size wise, not
I
at all.
I have yet to see Thibodeau put Toppin and Julius Randle on the court together.
That's another thing. Obi Toppin gets no tick.
He gets no time. When Julius is healthy, he barely
Crazy.
play, but they can
What's
play together. That's the funny thing. Like
what's Obi's game though? Well, I guess Randall done turned into a stretch now,
Athletic,
so
rebound, block shots,
like
high flyer.
yeah.
I mean,
If you
and
play
he's
him
not
at the, I mean, if you play him at the
he's
five, yeah.
okay as a shooter. Like Obi is at the
yeah,
go.
he's
That's
not
what
He
I'm
ain't
saying. I'm
playing.
not from. I'm saying
So,
that. I'm saying that legit question because I don't know his game. So that's why I'm saying like I
Yeah,
wonder
he don't know
why.
everything. He's not great at any one thing, but obviously he possesses some athleticism. The reason why I bring it up is
I just remember
Bam's,
when he was
Bam's
drafted, they were just
athletic.
talking about he was super athletic.
Yeah, Bam's
yeah, yeah,
athletic, but Bam
yeah.
don't have that dog to go score. So
No,
to me, you
no.
don't have to worry about putting some defensive player on Bam
Right,
because
right.
Bam's not going to try to go get it like that.
Yeah, he
But
ain't gonna try to get like
no,
that. You're right.
but on the other
If he
end,
had a deadly 15 to 18 foot
It'd be
jumper,
ugly, and
the
even
thing
if
is,
his
he
three
does have a
drops
jump shot.
consistently.
He just don't shoot it.
yeah, when he does take it, yeah, he does
It's
make a lot of them.
yeah.
But man, if he had that, I'm talking that AD and
Yep.
the Anthony
Yep.
Davis and uh, New Orleans game,
Oh yeah. 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 Yeah.
crazy because he
Yeah,
has that upside, but we just unfortunately don't see
We'll
it.
never see the how good Bam can be until Miami gets a true center. Y'all heard me say that before.
Mhm.
I just feel like Bam is a four,
yeah,
and he needs
yeah.
a true center to play next to.
I think I think you got to push him out the paint, and I think that may be the problem with what we were saying about New York with Ob and Randall. I think Randall be playing too close to the rim. Like
You
I
think
think
so?
he got.
I see him
I
shooting
mean I'm
threes
just saying
all
from what
night.
I've seen, it's like he scoot out some. Like I know you're gonna set the picks for Bronson. I understand that, but that's you're more than that. And I
You
think
talking
you
about
gotta
Julius Randle?
like I'm just saying like they do a lot of pick and rolls. I think they just really trying to
It's
ride
the NBA.
right. But I'm just saying
I feel
they
like
do it
I
for
feel
the
like he's
guard to
on the
shoot. I
perimeter
don't
too
think they
much.
do it for the roll. I think if they rolled them more, you know what I mean, play more of
Talking
the
about
roll
he
instead of
fades
for the
out for the
shot.
three. Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I feel like
yeah.
he stays too far away from the
He
rim.
does. He shoots too many jump
But
shots.
I'm just saying, if you put him and
Way too
Obi
many.
in, dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can scoot Randall out, and that's why I think he plays closer to the court, and they don't play them together.
But I'm saying
But
both of them can do that though. Obi can shoot it, and both of them can roll. Both of them
mm,
can. Like
I don't know. Then we must be missing something.
it's
Cause
Tibbs, man. He got
what?
a history of
Yeah,
this
that's
stuff.
true
Yeah,
too.
I mean, you got
Like
to
you
think
said,
about.
he don't.
You
He's
got to.
not really offensive driven.
No,
there's
he
not
has
many
no
coaches I
creative
can look
mind.
at, your roster and see who's playing, who's not playing, and be like, what?
Yeah, like oh, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, definitely that
I
D
have no
Rose is
idea
crazy,
if he ever
especially with
going
this
on.
being hit. Like he's saying that this is last year. Like you already
Who
know he
Tibbs said
ready.
that?
He ready to go. Yeah,
That-
Rose said it.
I missed that.
Oh yeah,
Rose
yeah,
out
yeah,
of New York. He out of New York, bro.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I heard he said he was gonna retire, but
I
it
think
was
if a
on Twitter.
team, the right
I
team
don't know.
shows him interest, real talk, bro. I think he comes back. I
But they've
think
been
Tibbs
like
is.
last year he almost won 6 man, and then
Yeah,
now this
that's what
year
I'm
is
saying.
nothing. Like
Because
that's
he's
just
in the
crazy.
doghouse. That's how it is with Tibbs. Like you hit the doghouse, bro.
Yeah.
You
Jimmy
don't
hit the
touch the
doghouse
court.
with him. Yeah. Now that you
Yeah,
say
you know
that,
what
you
I
think
mean.
back to the teams he done coached.
Yep. Think about it. In Minnesota, like bro,
Yep.
like you hit the
Yeah.
doghouse. That's it. That's
That's
it.
crazy.
That's
That's crazy you
crazy.
say that. That is legit. All right, man. Well, what about Philly Boston, man? I see your man Harden. He showed up. He
Shout out
showed up.
James
Houston.
Harden. Yes,
uh,
sir.
I guess
I
the biggest thing is he go? You believe he gonna keep this going, Jared?
I
nah.
mean, obviously
I mean,
with
not as a 50 not like that, but
yeah, I mean,
like I mean, just I mean, I guess upping his level of play from what we used to the basic,
I don't know.
the
I think with
2011
Embiid back, they get
back
back
to the
to
Back
same
to
old
what they
thing.
do.
what
Yep.
got him there. 20,
Hey,
20 and 12, James Harden. Like, I mean,
hey, if
we'll
it's
see.
working,
But
I think it just was a breath of fresh air for everybody to just see Harden and
yeah,
be like, okay, they go Harden again,
yeah, for sure.
So
That's why I don't understand like how some people could just hate certain people. It's like, I mean, if you're a fan of the game, like you want to see guys ball.
yeah,
I mean, maybe that's just me, but you know,
no, no,
like
no,
if they're your favorite or not your favorite. I mean, it's like when somebody hoops and you're watching basketball. It's like you. I don't see how people aren't excited about stuff like that, but
yeah, you
you
got to
know,
recognize. That's why when you put it in the chat, I was like, oh yeah, I was like, yeah, he went off. He
yeah,
finally like
yeah,
that's what we used to seeing though. Like that's
right.
Houston Harden. Like so, like I said, it was good to see. I definitely got excited. Do they put us out against Boston? I mean, it's 1-1 right now. Are they playing?
They're
It's a
playing
They
right
one
now.
playing
all.
Game
now.
It's
two's
one
going on
all.
right now.
Okay.
Boston's up 18-16 right now.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Um, I think that's a good series. I mean, that may ultimately decide who come out the East right
Man,
there.
I think the NBA Finals is wide open now.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
It's
yeah,
just gonna be a
definitely.
matter of who gets the hottest these next 2 or 3 weeks. That's
Yep.
gonna decide who wins.
But I'm gonna be real, man. Another one is Boston's coach, man. Like
That boy
he's had
good.
some head scratching moments though. Boston's
I
coach. I
like him
mean,
though. But yeah, yeah,
here's the thing. I'm not saying that he's a bad coach. This is his first year, but
Right.
anytime I see a DNP next to Grant Williams,
I
or
was just
That's
getting ready to say
you
that
know
he
what I
played like
mean,
4 minutes in game one.
right? Him, Horford sporadic, Robert Williams is sporadic. Like the guys who really helped get them to the finals last
Yep,
year, you're not seeing them really get it. Like right now, it's like we're just gonna ride Tatum and Brown.
yep,
Eh. And then it's kind of hit and miss on if he chooses Derek White or Malcolm Brogdon, and as far as that goes. Now, I do know it hurt them not having Marcus Smart last game, but no offense, you should be able to beat an Embiid-less Philadelphia, no problem. I'm
right.
sorry. Like, that shouldn't, when you claim you have good perimeter defenders,
yeah,
but you get killed on the perimeter,
yeah.
that's when I have to start calling my man Ike and be like, I'm with you, bro. Throw the Defensive Player of the Year award in the trash, man, because everybody who claims to be defenders is getting killed.
Yeah, and also I think too, like maybe like with Embiid not being there, they like, all right, cool. Like we're not gonna burn our big man out because we're gonna need to throw these bodies at him when he come back. Um, that could be another thing.
You got to go win.
Yeah, yeah, and they can shoot. That's another thing too. Like especially Williams, he can shoot. Like you can spot him up in the corner.
Yeah,
So I mean, maybe they
Grant's a
are.
corner. Yep, Grant's a corner specialist, man. We seen him
And like you
last
said,
year.
with Brogdon and Smart on the perimeter, like yeah,
I
Harden
mean,
can't
they
be
got they
freaking
got the
Harden is doing
players.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, they got the players. It's just it boggles my mind. Again, this is actually not a slight to James Harden at all. But when
Mm-mm.
you have a Jalen Brown, a Tatum, I know Marcus Smart didn't play, but whether it's Brogdon or whoever, somebody couldn't step up. Like that's the thing that trips me out. Even what was it like last year, the year before when Luca killed the Clippers, but yet you had Paul George and Kawhi who are
Right.
defenders. Like I don't get that.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
get that because somebody got to take enough pride and say this man ain't that daggone good where he's gonna drop
Yeah.
40 and
Yeah.
50 on me.
Not to
You know
that
what I mean?
point.
That's just me, and I could be 100% wrong on that.
And not
That's
for a
just
whole
how I feel
series.
about it.
Like I
Not
get
for a
it. Like
series,
maybe
yeah.
go off a
One
game or
game,
two.
yeah, I get it.
But like when somebody dominates you a whole series, like you said, like Luca did, like
Yeah, like
that's not supposed to
no,
happen.
nah.
Not at this level,
Not
anyway.
if you're saying you got perimeter lockdown type defenders on
Yeah,
that team.
Right.
yeah.
Nah.
And those two, I believe, like you said, Paul George and Kawhi, I think they really do take a lot of pride in playing defense.
It didn't show then.
So
I'll
yeah,
say
no,
that.
exactly,
Luka
exactly.
went crazy.
Luca went crazy.
Yeah, yeah. So
So,
yeah, so I guess Lakers, Golden State. Uh, Lakers pulled that one off, but if they give up 24 threes again, they're not gonna win.
It's ugly.
That was
It's ugly.
crazy.
But you could also flip that around
they're not
and
gonna hit that
say
many
if
threes.
if the Warriors don't hit
Yeah,
23s next game, it's ugly. So I
but
mean, you
then I
figure
mean, you also
if
look
they
at
come in at 17, they
exactly.
get beat pretty soundly last night.
Yeah,
So
yeah, because
My
they was still
question,
one shot away.
yeah, my question though,
And
for
it's the
real, for
fourth
real.
quarter. It's always the fourth quarter with the Lakers, man. You just got to cross your fingers
yeah,
and hope the lead
hope they
is
hang
large
on.
enough to pull it
Yep.
out, man.
The question to me is, do you think AD can sustain this level of play for
That
an
was gonna be
entire
I,
my
I,
next
series?
pick
I
too.
think so. I mean, he should be able to. I think that's been the problem with the Lakers, as far as everybody's concerned, is that he's not withstanding or
That's why I
maintaining
asked the
this level.
question.
Yeah,
It's not
Yeah,
that he
but I,
didn't have
I,
the.
I think he can. Yeah, especially with a
Let me
guaranteed
tell. Let me
payout
rephrase
team.
that, Jared. Not can he?
Do I
Do
think
you
he can?
believe he will? Let me
That's a
say that.
great question.
Let me
That's a great
rephrase it.
question. I'm optimistic, but
yeah.
if I had to bet my money, which I'm not a gambler, I'm not a bettor, I'd probably say no. But I still think that there's room for LeBron to pick it up if AD drops
That's
down to 20,
yeah,
22
yeah.
points. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I
Because
think
LeBron hasn't
maybe.
been shooting his best either.
Oh, he's been terrible. This
So
this
I
has been the
think
worst stretch of playoff games I've ever seen LeBron play in my life.
yeah.
And that's
But
saying a lot coming from a guy like me.
No,
I'm
I'm
heavily
with you. Like you
invested in
said,
his
I'm
career.
pro LeBron. So like, yeah, no,
I'm like,
I'm with you. That's why I was
yo,
like, that's what I've been noticing.
we
Like,
just haven't seen anything like this. Even like what year 3 or 4, his first year in the playoffs against like the Wizards, he was hooping. Like now, I don't know what.
but
It's hard to watch.
I
Like
think and I mean, of course, LeBron's IQ is off the charts, and I think now, like at this age, he's learned how to pace himself and do what he got to do when he feel like he got
true.
to do it. It could be like, hey, look, we really got a strong chance of getting to the Western Conference Finals, and not only that, maybe to the finals. So, do I
Man,
want to burn myself out on Golden State? You know what I mean?
man, if you
And what
burn
if
yourself out on
and
any
what if
team,
it goes
you win.
7, and that Phoenix Denver somebody sweep? Let's say Denver sweeps, and now they resting, and now I don't win 7 games, and then I get 2 days rest, and now we got to go play them. Like that's gonna be tough. So I think he's kind of thinking ahead and maybe playing that way and saying like,
Man,
okay, AD got to go on, my team got to go in. Let me just coast through and kind of be
I
strategic
think
about it.
that's a
That's my
terrible.
only thought
That would
process.
be a terrible way to look at it if I'm
That's
LeBron.
that's
But
that's the only thing I got.
yeah, I mean, then he could just really be getting old. Like I feel like we
Yes,
go up and
that's
down with
great.
that.
That
See,
too loud.
I didn't have to say it, but I was gonna say like, and I ain't even being funny, but like, he's human, man. Like the
He's
dude
getting
is,
older. Like
he's getting older. Like he's not gonna do some of the things he used to as
right,
consistently. It's gonna be moments. He's still
Right,
gonna
right,
have great moments,
exactly.
but it's not gonna
Like he'll
be.
show
But I think,
flashes that he can
yeah,
still
right,
do
right,
some
right.
things,
but
but
I think
man,
he's dependent on. Now, I'll say this because kind of how you said about the 3-point shooting with the Warriors. I also don't believe you're going to get Dennis Schroeder playing like he did either because he had a
Yeah,
heck of a
cause
game
yeah,
last night as
and I
well.
mean you
Like,
got to bring one guy with you. I think with LeBron and AD, and that's what I was saying about Reeves. He's probably been the most consistent third guy that been coming along with him. But like you said, you need either him, Schroeder, or
D'Angelo
Russ
played well
D'Angelo.
too.
That's what I'm saying. You need
he's
I
one
been
of
mean,
them,
you
playing
just
could
like
get
he
well.
did
one
in
of
that
those
game
three
7.
guys
Like
to
you need
drop
one of those
18.
one of them 3 guys to get close
Yeah,
to 20,
Well, I
yeah,
think,
get close
15
to
plus.
20. I
but I
think
think
you
y'all
gotta get.
missed. Oh, go ahead, Jay. My bad.
No, I was just gonna say, I think if you get one of those three guys to get you 20, you have a chance.
Yeah, absolutely. And then LeBron do his 20 to 30, and you get 20 to
20 to
30
30,
from
80, you get
AD.
20 to, yeah.
I
So,
think I think don't sleep on it though. Like y'all know I'm not a Lakers fan or nothing like that, but at the end of the day, I told you I give them credit for the moves they make.
yeah.
Jared Vanderbilt, D'Angelo, even
Yeah.
like the one like Rui coming in. Like Rui had a big
Yep.
game in the first
Yep.
round as well. Like
Yep.
they have a
They've
number of
been given,
guys
yes,
who
yes.
can contribute, and it don't have to be 20.
No,
Honestly,
no,
you can
no.
get 12 to
15.
14
Yeah,
from Rui,
yeah,
another one
yeah.
Yep.
from Reeves, another one from Schroeder, another
Absolutely.
one from D'Angelo. Like that together is what's going to
Yep.
bring
And that's
success.
what in those games, those have been their
I agree
dominant
with that.
games when those guys come along.
Can chip in, yeah. I mean, even Jared Vanderbilt, like I take
Yeah.
my
Yep.
hat off. That dude has stepped up and said, "I want guys on defense,"
And
and
that's what I'm
that's
about
what
to
the
say. On
Lakers
both
need
ends
as
of the
well.
floor.
Yeah, like
Knocking down
he's
open shots and
he
taking
need
some of the best players. Yep.
yeah, I mean he's been I mean the Lakers been needing that, and the fact that he stepped up to do that, I think that also helps them tremendously. But
For
I will
sure.
say this, I don't have a lot of confidence in AD. So I don't think he's
Me
gonna,
either.
Yeah.
because even though he had a heck of a game, they still gave up 23 rebounds to Looney. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
let's not forget
Yep.
that. Like, there's a lot of things where you can say, oh, if they didn't do this or if they didn't, we're gonna have to see. It's gonna be a chess match. We're gonna see how Darvin Ham adjusts, and then likewise Steve Kerr, who's been here. Okay, well, how are you going to adjust? Because
Right.
I don't like the matchup in one hand for Golden State because I don't think they have anybody who can do anything with AD. You have
Yeah.
a number of bodies you can throw at
Right.
LeBron. You know,
Right.
I'm just being real.
No,
You got
legit.
about four bodies you can just throw at him, and
Hmm.
that can slow him down.
Yeah.
You
Anybody from
have
Moody to
nobody.
Poole to Draymond, like you could
Now,
throw. You're
young
right.
Poole needs to go to the parking lot because
Well,
that
we just
brother can't
saying.
guard
I'm
a
just
cone.
saying a
Hey,
body.
That
I'm just
I
saying a
didn't have a
body.
problem with the shot. Like
no,
I
it's
didn't
not
have
the
a
shot. I'm
problem
talking
with it.
about he can't guard a cone.
Oh well, yeah.
I expect the shot because it's Poole and he does that kind of stuff. So it wasn't the shot that bothered me, although
No,
Steph's
he
reaction
was
was
six
kind
for
of
10 from
funny
the
to
three.
Yeah,
Shoot
it
see
the
it.
was.
shot.
But here's the thing. No offense, you're Jordan Poole. You're not Steph. You actually haven't even earned the right to take that shot. I'm being real. You haven't earned that.
Yeah,
So
I think they, if I remember correctly, they had like Steph like doubled out there. I
they
mean, they
did.
definitely had him
That's why he
covered.
passed it up.
And that
But
yeah, and that's why
And
Draymond
Buddy
he
was
didn't have no
wide
choice
open. Like I would have
really.
shot that bitch too if I was him. Shit, bombs
After
away.
Steph and Clay, like I mean, it is. I
it's
mean,
not that he shot it. He shot it from 30 when he could have
Yeah, it was
smoothed up to
long shit.
25, and it's
mhm.
an easier shot. The problem is you want to beat Steph. There was no reason to take it from 30 because honestly, like you said, they doubled Steph, swung it to Draymond, and you were wide open. Well, if your IQ was high enough, you would know, let me get in a
Let me
position to
get a
catch and
dribble and
shoot
then
it.
step
But
into the shot.
or here, how about this? Let me just slide closer to the 3 point line because
Right.
nobody was over there, and it's
Yeah,
a
nobody
better
was there.
shot. It's not the
Yep.
fact that he shot it; it's you want it to be looking a
You
certain
wanted to
way
make it
by
look
hitting
dramatic
You
a
wanted a
30
and
Steph
footer.
shot.
Yeah,
right.
That's
you
what it
wanted a
was.
Steph
Yeah.
shot, and you're
Yeah.
not that. But that's a whole nother story when it comes to Jordan Poole. But I mean, we'll see. I think it's going to be a good series. I think you're going to have. I wouldn't be surprised to see this one go 7. Um,
Yeah, I definitely believe that. They just
yeah,
have so much. They played a lot. I mean, just LeBron and Lakers. Like they battled a lot, and Golden State ain't going away quietly. You see
no,
how they did
Oh
the
no,
Kings.
no.
most
They're not going
resilient
away
team,
quietly. So
And
man.
even if you go up 2-0, you still got to be looking over your shoulder.
Clearly, it's
yeah, I
yeah.
mean, anytime if they can
Against the
get hot,
Warriors, every game is must win.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
Like the Lakers have to win game two. And then if you
yes,
win game two, you have to win game three. Like
yeah.
there's no, oh, okay, well, we'll just split and we'll go back home. No, no.
no,
You can't count
Absolutely
on
not.
home court advantage because
No.
I mean,
Every single
throw their
game
season their regular
is
season
must
record
win.
out the window because
The most
they took two
important
in
game,
Sacramento.
right. If you're playing the Golden State Warriors, the most important game
Is
is
the
the
next
next
one.
one.
yep.
You
Absolutely, no,
have to
I
win
agree.
every game.
They need to
Gotta
win
put them
these
away.
first 3. I think the Lakers need to win these first 3 real
Yeah,
talk.
Oh yeah. In order for me to actually
to
feel
feel
like
comfortable.
Yep,
yeah,
yep,
they have to win the first three.
Yeah.
yep.
If they win the first three, I'm like, okay, I think the Lakers can get this. But
Yeah, yeah,
they
yeah.
split it here, or and then they let Warriors go up 2-1. You can kiss it goodbye.
Yeah,
It's over.
I agree. I agree. All right, man. We got a quick debate topic, man. That Jared posted in our chat. Do it. Thought it was interesting, man. He was talking about like was this back in what 2004? when they drafted Carmelo.
2003.
Three.
Oh,
It would
three.
have been
Yep.
2003 draft. Yep. What if Carmelo was drafted by the Detroit Pistons?
Man,
Go ahead.
he
What you about to
he.
say?
No, were you gonna play the clip or?
Nah, I
Okay,
tried to find it, but
that's cool.
it
You know
wasn't
what? I don't
clipped. It
even
was
know
the
who
whole
that.
thing.
I couldn't recall who that was talking because it wasn't
It
like.
was it was on uh it was on the nothing was it nothing but smoke or all the smoke podcast.
I don't think it was there.
You sure? That's
I'm
where I
not.
found. That's the first thing that popped
But
up
I
with
don't.
me.
I just
He was
don't know
talking to
who
Steven
that guy
Jackson
was
and
that was talking because it wasn't Tayshaun, it wasn't Ben Wallace, it wasn't
it was
Billups, it
it
wasn't
was
Rich
No,
Hamilton.
it was Rip.
it was Rip
No, no, no,
Hamilton.
it wasn't Rip. Was it Rip?
The
Yeah,
one
it
I
was Rip.
seen was Rip Hamilton.
Yeah, the one
When
I
I
seen it was
searched
Rip.
Rip Ham,
Ooh,
I
Yeah, it
when I
was Rip.
searched it up, it was Rip
Yeah, it
Hamilton.
was Rip.
he looks
Yeah.
bad then. Okay, like, he damn near look like Aaron McKee. Like,
Wow, nah, you said Aaron
Bro,
McKee.
you
You
tripping.
are
It was Rip, though.
oh, it's Rip.
It
trash.
was Rip. Yeah,
Wow.
it was
But,
Rip.
You
but
are
yeah,
wild, bro.
I
Nah,
guess I'll
it
start
was
this
Rip.
off. That's the exact reason why I don't get caught up in the championships being brought up in debates because I feel like it's all about the situation. If Carmelo Anthony is drafted second, which he should have been, or
He
even D
should have been.
Wade, Darko Milicic, get him out of here. Either one of those
Wasn't he
guys,
drafted
you're
second?
looking.
Darko Milicic
Darko
was
was two.
first.
Darko was
No,
second.
Who was
he was second
LeBron? Yeah,
behind
LeBron was
LeBron,
LeBron.
one.
Darko, Carmelo.
Darko
No,
was
you're right.
second, and then
And
it
then
either
Chris,
went
yeah,
D Wade and
Bosh went four, I think. I
yeah,
think D
okay,
Wade went three.
yeah, okay.
yeah. Three was
So
D Wade.
man,
Bosh was four.
if
Yeah, okay.
but just to finish that thought, that's why I'm not big on championships because I feel like it's all about the situation. I feel like if Detroit makes that pick and drafts Carmelo too, you would have to talk about Melo how you talk about Kobe. He'd have about 4 or 5 rings. Also, would possibly affect what LeBron's situation is. Could not. I mean, because if you figure if you put Melo on that team, they run the East for as long as they're together.
I agree.
That's
They
just my
still
opinion.
I agree.
because the one I don't want to say they stole, but they got one from Kobe and Shaq.
Yeah,
That
they
was
did.
in
Yeah, that was
that was that year. That was the next year.
Yeah, yep.
It was like
Sure
So
was.
yeah, it was like 04. Yeah.
yeah,
You
yeah,
put Melo on that team. Come on, man.
yeah.
Like
But then
he's a
also think
multi
then who do you
NBA champ.
lose then?
I mean, you don't
What do you
even
mean?
lose, you don't
I
lose
You
mean,
don't
I'm
lose
just
Carmelo.
thinking
anybody.
like
You just
like
don't choose Darko. You
Right.
just
well,
add
yeah,
Carmelo.
yeah,
That's the only
yeah.
difference. You just take
It's a
Darko out
draft
of the
pick, not
Because
a
equation.
trade.
Rasheed was
You
yeah,
put
Rasheed was yeah, everybody was already there.
you
I was
put
just
Melo in
thinking,
there,
trying to think of that full roster.
or maybe you could trade a guy for somebody better. You
Yeah,
know, like
And you got
I
to
mean, the
think you
sky's the
had
limit at that point.
yeah. I
The
mean with
sky's literally the limit.
Chauncey, with Rip, with
Yeah,
Carmelo, with
that's
Rasheed and Ben
crazy.
Wallace.
Rasheed,
and
I forgot
Tayshaun
about
Oh,
Prince. So you bring
Rasheed.
Tayshaun Prince
man.
off the pond?
No, I'm just saying you
No,
still
I'm
had
just
He
thinking. No, I'm
Tayshaun
just
as
thinking
well.
in my head. I'm just saying like I'm
you
just
could.
I
thinking
would
down.
say you could. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
definitely
could.
could, and you probably would have in that situation, honestly.
Mhm.
That's crazy.
Was
That's
Stuckey on
crazy.
that team too? I'm trying to think, man.
Yeah,
That team
Nah,
I
was
don't know if
Ronnie
it was that
Stuckey,
year,
nah,
but it
that's
was
nah. He was that
last.
definitely
one that
that
year. Okay, I'm
era.
thinking
Yeah.
like
Nah,
yeah. That's what
that's
I'm trying to think like that.
Darvin
They was
Ham
pretty
played
deep.
for them. That's when like
Yeah,
Darvin Ham was
Ham was on
there.
that team too. Yep.
Corliss
That's crazy.
Williamson,
Ooh,
Elton Campbell, Hubert
Yep.
Davis, Chucky Atkins. They had a whole
yeah.
Well,
bunch of.
I feel
That's who
They
like
I
had
was
a
thinking.
vets.
Atkins,
that
not
Yeah, they had
totally
Stuckey. I was
vets.
thinking
washes
Atkins.
the championship theory. I mean, it just totally washes it. And it's like a person that's big on championships will look me in the face and try to tell me that wouldn't have made a difference. Like I beg to differ. I beg to differ. If
And
he's drafted to the Pistons, Carmelo Anthony has a completely different career.
And for the
Yeah.
record, for the viewers who listen to this, please don't waste your time trying to argue or comment saying, "Well, what if LeBron went there?" LeBron was gonna go number one, so you
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
change that narrative. So
I mean, shit.
and I'm
If you want to add some
Well,
kind of
see, I
way,
mean,
like,
add something to
let's
LeBron. I mean,
let's stop. Like
like you
LeBron
need
was
to
going
help
one, so
add
his
it, but
situation was his
yeah,
situation.
his
We're
situation really
talking
never
about
changed.
who should have went to, which
we
was
still
Carmelo. That's it.
exactly,
That's it. That's all we're
exactly,
talking about.
So
exactly.
I mean, well, even with that, let's say you got Detroit, which they still. I mean, if you talk about running the East, they
They
did it for
still were
quite a
good.
while. They still
They
had
did
a
it, but
they
we're
had a
saying think about
solid
what it
3 year
think about
run.
it, what it would have looked like with a young Carmelo
Yeah,
Anthony.
no, absolutely. And I think Rip was pointing more to because I watched the clip several times because I wanted to get I got a response, but I couldn't get the question. I was like, okay, what was they asking him outside of this? And they was talking more about the way they played. Rip was commenting on and saying like, look, I wasn't a defender coming from Washington to Detroit. Like
Yeah,
Chauncey, when he came in, he wasn't a defender what Ben Wallace and them guys was establishing in Detroit was being hard nosed defenders, and we had to buy
Mhm.
in. So if we would have got a young Carmelo, thinking,
Man,
man, imagine Carmelo not only being the talented scorer he was, because even in college at Syracuse when he went on that run, he was dropping like 20, almost, what was it, 22 a game, I think, in the March Madness. Like, one of the few freshmen to do that. Like, to bring that in, he was like, we would have made
man,
Carmelo a two-way player.
that
Cause
would have
you
been
would have that's
crazy.
what we were doing to everybody who was coming in at that time. Like, yeah,
Who
okay,
knows? We might have flip flopped with LeBron and Carmelo. Like honestly, because
yeah,
Carmelo's
could have,
always had the talent. Like
yeah.
it
Hmm.
drives me crazy when
But
people
he
try to
was in
play
a
Carmelo
tough
Anthony
West,
like
like
he's
going to
not that
Denver.
guy. Like Carmelo has all the skill. Like
Yeah,
he has it. Is he the greatest defender? No, but
no,
it's LeBron the greatest defender? No. Like so it's just
and
like
it changes as you
he
get
has
older
all the
too.
intangibles. Like, and if he would have been drafted, that team wins multiple championships, and everybody's looking at Carmelo Anthony completely different. He could have done less than what he's done in his career, which is top 10 all time in scoring. He could have
Hmm.
done less and would have been looked at greater because of the championships. And that's the
Facts.
thing I don't
Facts.
understand.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
Yep, he won. He's a four-time Olympic gold champion.
Yep.
Yeah, one of the
Countless
few people to do
first
that
team
too.
All NBAs, countless All
Yeah, yeah,
Stars.
yeah. So I
Like I
mean,
said, top 10 all time in
Hall of Fame
scoring. Come on,
career. I
man.
mean, of course.
I
Whenever
don't
he
count all
officially
stars.
hangs it up. You said what?
I said I don't count the all like
Well,
nah.
yeah. I mean, but I mean, it's counted. But
For
yeah, nah,
some, but I don't.
definitely.
Like I'm serious. Like I don't even bring that into discussions because
Yeah,
they're
because I'm
stupid.
trying
I
to
mean,
think about
anytime
who
you
else was
start
in the
getting people
East.
voted in who ain't even played, like
Shit, he was in the West.
No, I'm trying
yeah,
to think.
Carmelo's
No,
in
I'm
the
trying to
West.
think with that team who else was in the East. You had Detroit, who was going on their run. I mean, Cleveland was coming up, but they wasn't where they were.
Washington was nice.
Yeah, because the
I think
Gilbert was still, yeah, because Gilbert was
our
going
opinions
hard
are
with
kind of
Jameson,
skewed because I don't think any of the teams of that era were kind of
Boston,
built like the teams now. Like I think
No,
a lot of the teams now are more
and Miami
heavily
too,
top loaded.
because that's when
You
they
know what I'm
got
saying?
Shaq.
So
After that, I'm
I
trying to
kind of
think.
think that that kind
Yeah,
of plays a part. But I mean,
yeah, it was
Washington was
definitely more
nice.
balanced because
Yeah.
it was definitely more balanced. That's why I'm trying to think of like where these players was. Like I said, Shaq had just went to Miami that next year. What, in '05? So they had their little couple year run. Boston was
Hmm.
building 18. Detroit, like I said, Detroit had like a 3 year run where they were constantly competing in the East.
and
LeBron came on a little bit after that. Go
don't
ahead.
forget about that's back when Jersey had Kid, Kenyon
Yeah,
Martin, Richard
yeah,
Jefferson,
Richard Jefferson
Eric
and Vince.
Wills, Keith
Vincent
Van
just,
Horn.
yeah,
Shout
Keith
out
Van
Kenyon
Horn.
Martin. It's my guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
don't
So
forget
yeah,
that's back
no.
when Jersey
Yeah, because
had
they
them
had a run.
boys
They had
too.
about a 4 year run where they made the finals
Yeah.
twice too.
And they couldn't get it.
They couldn't get over
They
the
couldn't
hump.
do
I
it.
mean, but they were running into the Spurs, which
Yeah,
that's when the
I
West
mean,
was
Or now they was
crazy.
running
not
to the Lakers.
Well, the
yeah,
Lakers, yeah, Lakers,
the
and yeah,
Lakers. It was yeah, and I mean, don't forget. Not saying it's the same, but even during that time, you still had Iverson. You still
yeah,
had the Pacers who
yeah.
were
Because
solid.
Iverson,
Like you still
yep,
had teams in the East
and
that were
even the
pretty daggone
Pacers,
good.
that Pacer team before everybody, before the Malice and the Palace,
That was a championship year. I don't
that
even want
was
to talk
crazy
about it.
too. So yeah,
Real
yep,
talk, that was the best team the Pacers had put together, and that was the
ever,
one year
ever,
I would actually say I think they would have won the championship
ever.
had it
Yeah,
not
nah,
been for that.
that, yeah,
Man, I
that
don't
was
know.
crazy. Yeah,
And
the
it went
East
no, I
was
don't know about
tough.
it. I mean, that team, what they
Bro,
had, and what
Oh
they were doing,
yeah,
I don't think they would have beat Detroit.
yeah, they would have.
what?
Yeah, they would have.
No.
Yes,
That
they,
Pacer team was
bro. That's
serious,
the
bro.
bro.
No.
Yeah, bro. Because everybody, that was the matchup in the West, in the East. It
Yeah,
was
that
them. It was them in It was them in Detroit. Because Detroit was coming off that championship, and like we were right there, bro. Yeah, with
What was that?
Jermaine.
04, 05 season?
Yeah, that was '05 season, I believe.
yeah.
Because that was like, yeah, because we had Ryan, Jackson, Jermaine, Reggie. Who else do we have on that team? Tinsley,
Tinsley, you had the Davis, you had, I
Davis's.
I
Yeah,
mean,
think Austin
yeah.
Crozier was there, maybe.
Crochet.
I don't know if he was there in
I don't know if
'05.
Crochet. I don't. That may have been on the back end of Crochet, but yeah, but I mean, like they,
I don't
yeah,
count Crozier
I
anyway,
probably,
but
yeah,
I mean,
I mean, he got some buckets. Come on
yeah,
now.
he. I mean, for
He
let's
did
for
his
being
uh,
for
time.
being him, yeah.
but
But
that's back when
back to the
they
point, yeah, nah,
yeah.
that Detroit Piston team would have been, they probably would have, yeah, they probably would have. You could probably say at least three, um, because like I said, that Kobe Shaq thing in the West was coming to an end, so yeah, it's very possible. Um, but yeah, I guess let's moving forward. I guess we could switch gears and move over to the NFL. Let's talk about this draft, man. How y'all teams do? Nobody. Oh man. Awkward
Nah, we
silence.
did okay. We did all
Awkward
right.
silence.
I just feel like I'm just way more optimistic about other teams than ours,
All right.
and
Well,
I don't really
let.
know how I feel about that.
Well,
Like,
okay then. I got.
you know
let
what
me
I'm
look.
saying?
Let's,
I
let's,
just feel like there's way more optimism with the Ravens. There's way more optimism with the Browns. Even like they could be nice if Deshaun wakes up.
If
They could
Deshaun can
be.
get back, the
Deshaun wakes
Browns could
up.
be a
Then
problem.
you got the Jets, and the
Yeah,
Dolphins could possibly kill.
I don't trust them
Um,
since they decided to rock with Tua. I'm sorry, I just can't trust
the
that he's gonna be healthy
Bills,
for
and
a
then
full
you got
year.
the
So
Chiefs. That's already 6 or 7 teams. I
Yeah,
don't really know where we fit in there.
yeah.
I don't know. We could
I
be first, we could be fifth, we could be the last of those teams. I just don't know.
I'll be honest with you, Jared, because
I mean,
after you made it, I forgot what it was when we were talking back and forth, and I said I would have to agree with you just on paper, where it almost feels like Cincy must feel very good about their ability to develop because they didn't take care of
This
some holes that were
second year in a
bad.
row.
Like yeah, like y'all
yeah.
secondary, it's like they ignored your secondary
Well, no,
completely.
it's actually, but the thing about that is that I feel like there is some optimism because everybody's new. So it's just
Well,
like
that's fair. That's
let's
fair.
just
That's
start
fair.
with being better than
Yeah.
Eli Apple. Let's just start there, and then
Well,
I
I
mean, you know
mean,
what I'm
if you
saying?
really look,
We'll see what we
their
can get.
first three picks was defensive picks.
Yeah, but the only thing I didn't like about the first round pick is that I don't think Buddy's gonna start.
Who?
We
Who'd
Miles
y'all
have
who'd
three
Murphy.
y'all pick in the
defensive
first?
games
Miles
locked
Murphy from
in.
Clemson.
Nah,
Edge rusher.
I
In the
didn't.
first round, you
Yeah,
gotta get somebody that can start day one, especially if you're going defense. You know, this isn't the NBA
yeah.
where young guys. Well, nobody really
Well, I
sits
think
the bench
edge
anymore. But
rushers is probably one of the easiest transitions from college
I
to pro. Do
feel
you
that, but
think?
we have so much money tied up with the two we have, which I don't really care for either one of them.
And
I mean,
no,
we had 29 sacks last year, so I mean that's the bright side. I mean, I feel like the Bengals defense, their pass rush is going to improve, but I mean, like pick somebody that can start. My thing is we're too confident in the linebackers we have, and
Yeah, y'all
that
didn't
is
get no
beyond me.
linebackers. You got edge
there's a
rushers.
couple out there that I can
I
pick up
take
in
no
free
Yeah,
offense
yeah,
agency.
that's
to
what I'm
it.
saying. And in free agency, yeah, I seen that list you put out too,
Yeah,
Justin. That was a solid list.
you got
Yeah,
a
yeah,
couple of
it is.
linebackers out there that could help some teams. You know what
There's
I
a
mean?
whole
There's
bunch
a
of
lot of
these.
people out there.
Yeah,
Like there's a lot of
it
Yeah.
depth
is.
that you could
It
put maybe
is.
some ones and twos to plug in if
Yeah.
you're not
hmm
really confident in those draft picks you picked up.
But I am excited about Charlie Jones. I am excited. I
Okay,
feel
the
like
wide
that's a
receiver, yeah,
steal.
from Purdue,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yep,
He caught the most passes in Division 1 football last year. So like
yep.
I feel like Burrow can make that nice. So I
Well,
like that.
here's my thing though, Jared. Where does he
Yo,
fit? You got
he's
Boyd, you
gonna
got
be number 4.
Higgins, you got Chase. I know, but I'm saying,
Number
so what
4.
does that really mean from a target
We
standpoint? That's
didn't
all.
have 4 competent receivers
Well,
to put
they
out
do
there to split.
run. I mean, they run a lot of spread.
Yeah, so like
Their offense
that's
is
gonna
wide
work.
open.
Cam,
Our
you
number
better.
4 was Trent Taylor, and he just wasn't that guy. Like I mean, he had a pretty good set of hands. He returned punts for us. This guy can return kicks too. He's returned kicks and punts. So I think he can replace him, and he's a legitimate number 4 that can go up and get the ball out the air. So like that changes everything because now I think with our wide receiving core, people say, "Oh yeah, the Bengals wide receiving core is the best, or they're one of the best." Yeah, I get that, but it's top heavy though. So whenever one person goes down, when the games that Higgins missed, when he's not out there, we struggle. When Chase is not out there and it's just Boyd and Higgins, we struggle because they can like the defense can just bracket us. Like we have no third. We didn't have a legitimate third receiver if one of those guys went down. So I feel like now there's a legitimate third receiver if one of those 3 guys are out.
I feel that.
So
And
I feel like it'll help.
I think that maybe it leaves you room to maybe not have to pay Boyd
That's definitely coming up the pipeline as well for
because you
sure.
got to think with
But they can't
you
pay
really don't
Boyd.
know what you're gonna do at the running back position. I mean, y'all drafted one, but we don't know what's
I don't
gonna go
even
on
know
with that.
how you pay Higgins and Chase.
You
I'm just
can't.
You gonna pay Burrow 50 million and then pay each one of them 25 to 30
that's what I'm
million?
saying. I mean, I think you.
I
I
don't
mean,
know
of
what that
course, you
looks like.
keep Burrow at your front forefront.
Right,
You always thinking about, okay, like how is
right.
that's going to impact
T
us.
T gets traded
But I
Th-
mean,
And
somebody
unless he takes a team friendly deal. He gets traded.
that's
because y'all
or
drafted
unless
two
Burrow takes a team friendly deal to
y'all
where he can
drafted
keep
two
his guy.
receivers. So
Yeah.
I
But
mean, the guy from
I
Princeton.
just don't see how that works. And then
No.
it's like not having any faith in our front office. I don't even know if we can technically call them a front office because we have no general
Yeah,
manager.
it's pretty empty
Um,
up there.
yeah, I don't know if we can even call them a front office, but I just have zero faith in the, I guess, leadership of the team that they can will and deal and make things happen like, the Eagles general manager is. It's just like we just have never done it. So it's just like what would
Well, I
make
don't
me
know if you want
think,
to compare it to the Eagles. The Eagles is wild. Whoever they got, man, that
hey, they
man is
willing it, they
cooking.
making that shit work though. They
That
putting
man
that
Yes,
shit
they
is
are.
on.
cooking. I don't want to hear
They
nobody
are.
talk about salary cap. I don't hear nobody talk about nothing because if
But
the
you got to
Eagles can
think
do it,
they ain't got
like
a whole
that's
lot of people they
wild.
paying.
They
That's
That's
the
making,
thing.
and then was that y'all I was talking to where they were saying in this year and next year Jalen Hurts is only going to hit 19 million on the cap.
Uh-uh.
I don't think you want
I
talking to us.
figured.
I read that somewhere. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah,
That's
but we
But you
is I,
remember I
that's
told you it's being creative about when that number hits.
and we
That's
don't
what it's
have
about.
anybody currently in our organization that can even. It's just
they can
over.
navigate the salary cap like that. And a
Simulate,
lot of
bro.
teams
You got
kick
the
it
wrong
Simulate,
down,
accountants in the
the
building
road.
then. Yeah.
man.
They kick it down the road, and then when they feel like it's gonna affect their cap in a negative way, they throw it into a signing bonus.
Give me
Yep.
200,000, man. I'll run the team.
Two hundred
That's all they
thousand.
gotta give
Oh, I
me.
need more than that. That's a lot
Nah,
of
nah,
headache
hey,
that comes with
bro.
that.
I would get the I would get the gratitude out of winning. Just give me two hundred
Nah,
thousand.
scratch that. Gratitude ain't paying my bills. Nah,
But
bro.
I'm paying the bills what I'm making now, and I can tell you what, it ain't 200,000. So,
You sure?
and
I
I'm
heard it
comfortable as
was.
hell, but it ain't 200,000.
Uh,
So, hey,
my
if they
bad.
was to pump me up to
It's
that,
195. My
One.
bad.
Yeah,
stop,
wow.
stop,
So what
nah.
about Baltimore, man? What about y'all, man? Y'all got Zay Flowers in the first round. Y'all didn't have a second round pick. Y'all got
Nah,
Trent Simpson,
yeah.
Tavius Robinson, Blue Kelly, somebody else's
Caillou,
name
Blue
that
Kelly. Say it right, man.
what his name?
Caillou.
Caillou. I see. I didn't want to mess that up. Uh, you got a lineman from Oregon. I can't say his
Go ahead
name
and
either.
say his name.
His name is super long, bro. What is it?
I don't know. It's like Mala
Amava.
Sala
Yeah,
Amuba
man. It's
Lalu,
super long. And then
something
y'all
like
got
that.
Oh
Voorhees, a
shit.
guard from USC.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, I guess we're really only talking Zay Flowers and maybe Simpson. I mean, the rest of those guys, you'll see how they come along. Uh,
I don't
short
talk about none
receiver,
of them.
but
I
you
mean,
feel
he's
like
not.
he's enough.
I mean, we're gonna see to me. The offensively, it's gonna be hard to tell with the Ravens because we don't know what their offense is gonna look like.
That's right,
Uh,
especially with a new
so
offensive coordinator.
yeah,
You
so
don't know what
honestly,
he's
I
gonna
don't
look
know
like.
what Zay could be. I mean, I like his speed. I like his catch after the run. Like I like a lot of that stuff that I've seen because they don't have a shifty guy. Now I'm not calling him Tyreek Hill, but a
No,
shifty guy
no,
like that when he can catch it and make guys miss him. Create some long plays that way. But
right.
what are we doing? Because I mean, I hated the way they used Isaiah Likely last year. Like I thought he was
Yeah,
talented, and they didn't use him.
he
They
definitely got
overused.
Jets.
Yeah, I mean they overused Mark Andrews. Nick Boyle stayed banged up. J.K. was already frustrated. He ain't getting his touches. Gus stayed banged up. You know what I mean? So we'll have to see what Bateman looks like. See if he can actually put together a full season.
Right.
See if Odell can stay healthy.
Yeah.
I think this is probably the most talented offensive team they've had in a
Especially with all
long
y'all
time.
running backs coming back healthy too. That's gonna be
Well,
Hmm.
nice.
it's early. It's early. Let's
Well,
wait
I
till
mean,
we
I'm
get.
just saying. I said coming back.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
as of
yeah.
now, they're healthy.
This ain't coming back. Let's see what it looked like. Because I mean, I'll be honest with you. A lot of people don't want to talk about it, but our offensive line was an issue last year too.
Mm,
Stanley, he was banged up a few times. They really gotta solidify a good starting five and see. But draft pick, I wasn't surprised. Of course, they always go defense heavy, offensive line heavy. It seems like every year.
yeah.
Um, the Zay Flowers pick, I think, was kind of one of those like Lamar. We are still gonna go get another guy as well. So they got a lot of guys in the room. I mean, Nelson
Yeah.
Aguilar. They got about 25 receivers now. Between
Hey,
all
somebody
those
ain't gonna make the cut.
That's how you gotta
Dwayne,
do it, man.
O'Shea. I mean,
Hey,
they
That's how you
put
gotta
the
do it.
put the
literally
best four out there.
they
Yeah,
gonna have to figure something out. But
we our number four and our number five receiver was special teams guys. Like So
Yeah.
people don't be knowing that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
and
I mean,
only
literally,
people that know your team know that kind of stuff. Like, and now we at least we have legitimate four real wide receivers.
and
So we'll see.
that's kind of where Baltimore is now. I mean, you got to think. So if you go Odell, Bateman, Aguilar, Zay, Prochet, Duvernay, Taiwan Wallace.
Wallace.
That's seven receivers, and I'm probably missing somebody else because I feel like they signed somebody else too. But that's seven right there, where you're like,
Hmm.
all right, I don't know how many they keep on the roster, but that's
And
seven
one of
there
them
that
guys
you
would be a
have.
returner. I mean, not
Well, Duvernay and
Duvernay.
Prochet
That's what I'm about to say.
probably have
Duvernay
to.
usually does the returning.
Duvernay, yeah, he's still gonna be the return guy. But
Yeah.
well, I mean, we'll see
So
what
then
they
you
do.
don't have to. I mean, then you don't run him into the ground. You know what I mean? Then he got to jump right back out on offense. Like,
But I'm be real. The problem, and I've been saying it for years with Greg Roman is, year one he kind of got a pass, but their offense is so daggone manila at times. It's too predictable. Like a
Hmm.
lot of what they do is too predictable. That's why the run game wasn't as effective, in my opinion, as it could have been. Where I say, I hope this year, I forgot the guy's name that came from Georgia, but I truly hope they put Lamar under center more because I think
mhm.
that utilizing him in bootleg situations makes him and Mark Andrews very dangerous. But
Hmm.
they never are under center. It's not the same as a play action out of the daggone pistol.
Yeah,
You
that's
know
what I'm
what
about
I
to say. They
mean?
run the pistol a
So
lot.
I mean that's 90% of what they ran play. I want to see Lamar under center more, and I'm going to assume based upon the trajectory of what they've just done, we're going to see him passing the ball, not even necessarily attempt wise more, but overall better
Down the field.
schematically. Yeah,
Right,
and
right,
down the
right, right,
field,
right. They're
yeah,
going,
being
yeah.
able to open it up more. So
But that's cool. I think the Ravens are due for that. Like they've kind of been running that ground and pound and tough defense. Like that's just been their blueprint. And I think like now when you pay a quarterback like you pay him, like you got to be expecting him to open it up. You know, I mean
yeah,
he showed he can do it. I mean the year he won MVP, what he throw like threw like
36
37, 30,
touchdowns.
yeah, something like that. You know what I mean? Ran for another double digit session. So like, I mean, he's very, very capable of it. So
Yeah, it's never been capable. It's just Greg Roman is not a
right.
very good offensive coordinator in terms of passing game schematics. He's a good run game coordinator for the most part, but passing coordination, he's not very good at all.
All
He's
right, and I
actually
mean, and it's been the Ravens' blueprint. I mean, they
yeah,
won
but
two Super
you
Bowls
gotta
doing it that
evolve.
way.
You gotta
No,
evolve. That was your
absolutely, no,
blueprint when you
absolutely,
had Joe Flacco and guys who couldn't move the pocket.
right,
When you got Lamar, your first thing should have been all right. After the first 2 years, now it's time to develop and evolve them. You know what I mean?
absolutely.
That's
I
believe it or
agree.
not, people don't realize that's what you're seeing with Patrick Mahomes. It's the evolution of Patrick Mahomes. They're adding stuff every year to Patrick Mahomes.
Hmm.
People just miss the small things that they're adding to him. That's why he
Hmm.
was able to have success without a Tyreek Hill. Was it as pretty or as dynamic as it was before? No, but he's evolved more and more as a quarterback. Which I'll be honest, that's what makes the dude so freaking dangerous. I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do because as long as Kelsey keeps doing what the heck he does,
And
whatever
that's
juice he
that's
Run
what's
drinking,
down the
crazy to
field and
me.
turn
Like
around,
this
man,
dude,
stop,
like
turn around, wide open.
wide open. Jay,
every
when you pointed that out last year, the next two games I watched, I said, man, this dude Kelsey wide open
I mean, he
on
don't
I
both
shake
don't get
nobody.
it.
He don't even push off. He
no,
just comes
he
off
just
the
be
line
open
of scrimmage, runs down, stops, turns around, and
and
he's
he's
wide
open.
open.
Wherever
He
he
don't
wants, like it's something between him and Mahomes, like to where, bro, they just know when,
Yeah, that
especially if
chemistry's
they
real.
just
That chemistry's
like
real.
I've never seen. I've like that's like that type of chemistry. You just don't see that. That's like Gronk Brady chemistry. Like where you really don't have to say nothing. Like y'all both are seeing the defense the same way. And once that ball is like, it's crazy. It really is.
It
Um.
is. It is. All right, Vernon. What about these Colts? Let's go ahead and hear it.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we addressed everything. Um, we had so many picks. We traded back a lot. We doubled up in rounds, especially in the later rounds where we tend to do a lot better. Especially fourth, fifth
Yeah, y'all
round.
had like 12 draft picks. I was
Yeah,
like,
Yeah,
they
that's what
had
I'm
a
saying. Like
whole
we had two in the
page.
seventh, we had three in the four in the fifth, and we had two in the fourth. So we usually trade back and get more picks. And I think that's just you got to fill these holes and you got to figure out who can play and who can't. You gotta start cleaning the house, man. You gotta get out some of these old guys. You got a new regime in there, and you gotta kind of let them bring in the type of guys that they want to bring in. I think we're going all athletic. We just want people who can move. We want speed. That's the trend I seen. Even the cornerback from Kansas State, super athletic. The receiver
Hmm.
Josh Downs, super athletic, super fast. Like I think that's what they're doing. Freeland from BYU, he can move. He's a tackle that can move. And I think they're gonna run that zone scheme. So the DT from Northwestern, I think he ran like a sub 440. Like they want guys that with speed and that can move.
Can I
Um,
can I say this though?
Absolutely.
I didn't love a lot of the some of those Colts picks. Um, Brent's is good, but Brent's is not a burner. Which works in their defense because they run so much zone. So don't get me wrong. Even him and was it Rush, the corner from South Carolina, both of them got good size in terms
And
of
I think that's what they
they're
were
both
trying
like
to. Yeah,
6'2",
they both
6'3".
6 plus.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
6 foot plus.
I do like that part of it. The problem is when I was looking like when they were talking about those guys, both of them got tight hips, and that's a
Yeah,
problem in the NFL, brother. If your hips is tight and
yeah.
you can't change direction. So we're gonna see. Not that I dislike the pick because I understood where they were going. The one pick, I'll be honest, that now I ain't even gonna talk about the later ones, but the one I had a question on was the Josh Downs. Not that I don't think Downs is good. It's just Josh Downs isn't a very big receiver, so he
And
doesn't have a really
I
big
think he's
catch
gonna. I think
radius.
they like because he's good in the slot, and I think he did a lot. He played a lot of slot at North
But how,
Carolina.
yeah, but how are you going to address the outside? That's
I
my
think.
question
I
because
think
y'all
they're
don't
That's
have an
just.
something that the
outside.
I think
Colts
they're just
have
dependent.
just
I
failed
really
to.
think they're looking at. I mean,
I'm just
and
saying they got to address it
they
though,
may not be
Vern. You
the
know what I
best.
mean? Like,
I understand what you're saying, but from their standpoint, when you use a high draft pick on Pittman and Pierce, and then you resign Doolin, I think you got to figure out the outside with those three.
Those guys
Um,
are number three receivers at
no,
best.
and I'm just saying, but that's I mean, you can't do anything else. There's no, who you go get. There's nobody to get. There was no real true number ones in the draft that you could have jumped back into the first round and got because you
I
see
mean,
how the
I can
receivers
trust them,
went.
but
It was like bam, 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 bam.
but I guess let me say this: it's not even so much of that because I'm again, I'm not big on reaching just to be reaching for a position. So don't get me wrong. I guess more for me, it's all right. So it hasn't been addressed at all. Is the problem? So it's like
for
for
years,
years. We're not talking. I'm not talking
since
about
damn
just
near
this year.
Reggie Wayne, bro.
Yeah, like it's been a very long because listen, I'm be real. Ty wasn't a number one. Y'all just
No,
used him as a one, but Ty wasn't a one. So it's like y'all. It's been so long since they've actually had a true number one. I'm just shocked that
in that
they still
same
haven't addressed it.
scenario.
They're still in that same scenario. Yeah, that same predicament. So
Well, you also when you're changing when you're changing quarterbacks all the time, it's hard to even figure out what you could do because now you gotta every year you're getting used to someone new
Man,
throwing you the
bro,
ball because that matters also.
bring in. Titans probably wouldn't have traded AJ Brown to the Colts, but bro,
no, they
that
wouldn't.
would have changed everything.
Yeah,
If y'all had a
yeah,
some kind of way acquired him, Carson Wentz probably would have still been there cutting up. Like,
that's real.
I don't know.
Because
I
I was
mean,
going to say
if that's how you think,
I get the quarterback carousel, but that's kind of
yeah,
a I'll be honest, that's kind of a Colts problem. Like they did that to
these
themselves.
quarterbacks
right?
weren't dead garbage.
No,
But what I'm saying
Like
is that
they weren't
nobody.
just
What I'm
bottom
saying
of
is
the
like
barrel.
a top number one doesn't want to
that
come
changes
somewhere that does.
everything.
I know. I'm just saying.
Oh,
No, I'm agreeing with you. But what I'm saying is that like we have to think how receivers think. Like they want to go somewhere where they know who's throwing on the ball and they know that there's somebody good that's gonna, that they're gonna get the ball to them. Like
Wide
you
receivers
they
don't
want
look
to
at
go where they
Charles
want to get
paid.
paid.
that
They
and that
want to get
too, but
paid. Like,
but you pay them. They want stats too. They all got
But
egos.
they gonna get them because they the only one there
yeah,
in
they
Indy.
don't want there.
All right.
So you gonna get
Like
the stat.
they would have definitely eaten for sure. Like, but it did. Now that you mention it, I mean, because that number one receiver, you kind of want some size, and I mean, there wasn't any like super huge possession receivers in the draft. I mean, I give you that, but I mean, trade. Maybe y'all should have tried to get Odell. He probably wouldn't have came here. But I don't know, man.
Like a lot of receivers are
I
divas and
think
like
that
they're
one
looking for a certain
position.
situation
I think that
because that's
one
a dependent
position would have
position.
put y'all in a completely different. Even 3 years ago, even Philip Rivers' year, I think that would have just put y'all in a different predicament. Like,
Yeah, and like I said, even then, like who Who
I'll
comes here? Like
two
it's
two
hard to
two
get
guy
people here.
two guys' name came to mind. I'll be honest with you when I was just thinking about it, and I'm not saying they would have been the answer, but they maybe could have filled that void. When Allen Robinson was coming off that 1,000 yard campaign,
Yep.
got hurt, came back. Allen Robinson probably could have filled that void, and then DJ Chark. He came off a 1,000 yard campaign too, I believe, before he ended up leaving. Whatever, I think he was in Jacksonville. And again, I'm not saying these guys are your answer at one, but they have size, and it gave you somebody that you could kind of build around. I guess I'll say
So
it that way.
Right.
I mean, Michael Pittman had 1,000 yards, and I mean he's 6'4".
I mean,
Yeah,
somebody got to catch
I'm
the
just
ball.
saying.
I mean, somebody got to
I'm
catch
just
the
saying. I
ball.
don't
But
know. I
you,
mean, what do we?
I mean, if the example I brought up was a AJ Brown type guy, and then Michael
I look at
Pittman,
AJ. I look at. I mean, that's like elite. Like when you say number one, like they have to be elite,
that's you got to have a top guy, like for
and
sure.
it's just
You
not
gotta
enough.
have.
I don't believe it's enough of those guys to go around,
You
especially
gotta
not the
try
one that.
something though. Like the
No,
Eagles didn't have one, and they went out and got AJ Brown. Like do something. You got
yeah,
to
but
do
AJ
something.
Brown. But you also got to find a guy that want to leave and that want to come.
no, they traded for him. He didn't
Right,
have
that's
no
what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
choice.
but
Like,
He
right, but
didn't. It
AJ,
wasn't like AJ was like,
no, but they didn't want to pay. They also didn't want to pay AJ Brown. It was
right.
so that's what I'm saying. Somebody who wants to leave because he's not getting paid. You gotta. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, and that want to come to the Colts.
Okay.
Like, that's what I'm
why are
saying.
you
Like,
why are you
when
talking
you
about the
don't have
Colts like y'all a poverty franchise or something?
no, what
Like
I'm
people
not.
come
I'm
to the
not. It's not
Colts.
poverty. When you at quarterback,
Like,
you
that's what
are
I'm saying.
poverty.
It's not like
But
people
when
will
you
come
don't
here.
have a solid quarterback, it's hard to pull those elite guys to your team.
Okay. So why didn't y'all address it when you had Andrew Luck?
Because Andrew Luck and Ty was doing a thing,
And
and
then
we were
AJ
going to the
Brown
playoff.
really thought going into last year, AJ Brown thought Jalen Hurts was elite.
No, but it was a better
I don't think
situation.
anybody thought he was elite.
But I'm just saying it was a better situation than coming to the coast where you had no idea who was throwing you the ball, and it definitely you the one going there to go Carson Wentz.
See,
I
I
mean,
don't, I don't, I don't believe that. I'm sorry, I don't
Okay,
believe that when it comes down. For one, your comment would only be based around free agents. That's it. Because if I'm trading for somebody, they don't have a choice. They're coming because we're coming to get them.
right.
So
right.
you're literally
But
blocking
when
off.
it's an elite guy, you're not just trading elite guys, and what you have to give up to get an
Did,
elite guy,
I mean, you
Stephon Diggs got
obviously
traded,
because
right?
who
Stephon
Hopkins got
Diggs,
he
traded.
wanted to leave. He
Got
wanted to
but
leave
he
Minnesota.
got traded.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Hopkins got traded.
yeah.
AJ
That's
Brown
what I'm
got
saying. These are
traded.
guys that wanted to leave. That's what I'm saying. You gotta.
And then draft like I mean, you could have drafted like a Devontae Smith or a T Higgins or I
So you
mean,
think Devontae
I don't
Smith is
have
a
the
one?
drafts pulled up in front of me, so I don't like quote me on that. But I mean, at some point, you gotta get you somebody that you believe can be a number one receiver. It's hard for me to believe that they thought Alec Pierce was gonna be a number one. It's
No,
hard for me to
I don't
believe
think
that
they
they thought
believed it.
Michael Pittman was gonna be a number one.
I mean, let's be real. You could have got George Pickens.
He's a dog. I'd have definitely took him. Oh, figuratively and literally, Georgia
Yeah,
Bulldogs. Haha, I'm a rapper. Yeah, you could have. You definitely could have grabbed George Pickens. I think he went low too.
he
I
did.
don't. I
He
don't
got
know.
passed up on.
Like I said, I
But
just.
hey, Vern, but honestly, bro, I don't want to turn this into a let's bash the coach because that's not what I'm
No,
trying
no,
to
no,
do.
no, 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 no,
It may seem some kind of way, like, but that's not what I'm trying to do. So
Look, I'm not worried about it.
like
Y'all,
that's
as
not
y'all
my
see,
team. Like I have no ill will. I don't feel anything against the Colts. Like I'm not tripping. Like so, I don't want this to turn into a oh every time Jared just has something bad to say about.
look,
That's not what it is. But I mean, if we're talking,
I've never taken it personal,
all right, that's cool. I
and
just
what
want
we
to
do
just
on
want
here
to
is
put it
what we
out
do
there,
on here. This is what we
and
do it
for
for.
our viewers too, because
Oh yeah, well,
I
everybody gonna form
mean,
their own
I don't
opinion
want
based
nobody
on
to
what
be
they
like,
hear.
oh,
I'm
he's
not
just
worried
that
about that either.
he just hates the Colts. Like I no, I don't hate the Colts. Like
Everybody gonna, like I said, everybody gonna, whoever hear this is gonna form their own opinion. So if
if
they think that, that's what
anything,
they think.
this is giving you guys respect. Like because I could easily say, oh, the Colts are terrible. They're a million parts away from being good again. Like I think you guys are really close.
I know,
I think you guys are really, really, really,
but
really close. I think
it's puzzle pieces. Like
the
you
year that
just gotta
Carson
say,
Wentz was
okay, this
there,
don't
the
work.
year
You gotta
that
keep trying.
Taylor went crazy on the ground. If you
Yeah,
guys had a legitimate number one receiver and maybe like a dog tight end or something, that's all you need. So the Colts haven't been far off. Like they've been one number one wide receiver away from being successful. Like not saying they would have been Super Bowl, but they would have been contenders for just like our 10, 11 wins, 12
right.
wins.
But then I also think, okay, when you got you know, um, the quarterback. I mean, not the quarterback. The coach who just Frank Wright. That's what I'm
Yeah,
trying to think of. Somebody else who maybe the scheme just ain't matching the personnel. Like it's so much to go into it,
yeah. I
that
mean,
we'll see that when we got
I
hey
ain't
like
argue
someone
that.
who's more I want to say evolved in their offense. You know what I mean? Has That's
Yeah,
going to run more evolved offense. Maybe somebody breaks out.
Can I?
You
I
know,
mean, you know,
so we don't
maybe
know.
Josh Downs kills it. Like, I mean, it's
But I'm just saying
that's another thing for
when you
Anthony
use
Richardson.
first
Like,
round when you use
I
two
wish,
first round picks on receivers and then you
I
just like
wish Anthony Richardson had a safety valve, and I just don't think he has one.
we'll
Nah.
see.
Where, oh shit, let me just throw it up. Like, I feel
Yeah.
like,
But
for
I think
example,
he
Joe
also
Burrow
don't
had
have to
one,
do
didn't even
that.
really need one, but everybody should have that. Oh shit,
They
he
got that
down here
guy.
somewhere. Let me
Yeah, they
put
got
this
a
boy
guy.
in the air, and it's a good chance that he's gonna come down with it. Like, it's just not
Yeah,
one.
but it's, I mean, like that's not. I mean, I don't think that's how you want to. Unless you're just playing fast and loose out there.
I
Like, is
mean,
that what you want to do?
with a
Like,
young quarterback, like, I mean, that's definitely something
but the
good to
best
have.
thing too for a young quarterback is a running game. So my thing, I'm looking at Jonathan Taylor as being like super important. Like, if we can keep him healthy and keep the backfield, you
But
know
if
what I
you
mean,
can't
like
pass, you
intact.
can't run though. They both work on,
They're just
because
gonna
if you
stack the
can't
Yeah,
pass
but
the
I'm
box.
just
ball
looking at the
and
way
they and
Steichen.
they and they,
I'm
and they
looking at the
stack
way
the box,
Steichen,
Jordan Taylor is not is his name Jordan Taylor?
Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan.
Jonathan Taylor. If they stack the box, if
Right, but
if your
what I'm
quarterback
saying
can't
is
throw it
that
all,
I'm not, well, that's not I mean, that's impossible not to throw it all. But I'm just looking
oh
at the
my
way.
God, Vernon,
No,
come
just hear me.
on.
You're
So you
not.
really thought I meant like,
No, what I'm saying is like the way that Steichen uses his offense. He runs to throw. He doesn't throw first. That's what I'm saying. Just based on what I've seen.
but I get that.
But
But
can he
if
do
they
that
know
with the
that your
coach?
quarterback is not a
That's what I'm
threat,
saying. Like I feel like
a
Taylor is going to be
threat.
important in
Like, the
how
running game
he.
isn't going to work. You have to prove that you can throw the ball well, successfully, in order for the running game to work. They
I hear
both work off one another.
right,
Same thing with the
but
run.
that's
The
what I'm saying.
opposite
But
way
I bet
around.
with Steichen, he some people pass to set up the run, but he does it the opposite way. That's all I'm saying. So that's why I feel like Taylor is going to be important based on what I've seen from him in Philly. They ran to set up the pass. Once they get you in the formation they want you in, then they pass against you. That's just how they did it.
And you're talking about with a fresh rookie. You're not talking about with an established quarterback. You're
With
talking
whoever. I
about
mean, I mean, he's going to scheme it around whoever he decides to start. But I'm just saying,
uh,
like,
I
how
just
many
don't
rookies
think they
just
got.
come out flinging the ball like that? Like,
I
I
just
don't
wish
think
my
they got
guy
the
had a
pieces.
safety valve at the wide receiver position. That's
I do
that's
look.
it.
I agree.
I wish we had elite everywhere, but we got to build.
No argument there.
Just like everybody
Hopefully,
else, we just got
hopefully
to
y'all
build.
can position yourself for Marvin Harrison Jr. next year. I mean, I think that'd be nice to see him in the city.
I don't
Best
know,
player in
man.
the country.
Make it happen.
With the Cardinals having
Hey,
both of those top
you
picks,
you
chances
know I
are
gotta put my
gonna be tough.
negativity in there, man. As a Buckeyes fan, bro, Buddy might play like 10 snaps this year. Like, it would
Hey,
not surprise me
but
at all.
Jerry, but you heard me this year. What I tell you, best player in the country. I'm gonna say
Yeah,
it again.
he's
He's the
projected to be
best
the best, but
player in the
as an
country.
Ohio State Buckeyes fan, bro, Buddy's almost certainly gonna get hurt. For sure.
Why you gonna say that, man?
Jackson Smith and Jigba had 5 catches for 43 fucking yards this year. Pissed me clean the hell off. He had like 1,600 the year before. So, hey man,
That's crazy.
crazy as fuck. Like, yeah, but
I don't
that's
know.
just how it is. Life of a Buckeye.
I
So
guess I don't know,
we'll
man.
see.
Y'all seem to compete every year and
We be there, but
always
man,
be in the
I'm
running.
just like,
I just
after
don't
that
see what
Pro
you see.
Bowl, I'm like, yo, JSN is going off this year. He was supposed to be the best college football player this year. 5 catches, 43 yards. Got hurt first
Hey,
game. Never was right
well,
again.
since you brought him up, I do want to say this though. I really like what Seattle did in the first round
Yep, yep,
with him and Devin Witherspoon.
yep.
Man, that was two good pickups. Man, so you're gonna have Jackson Smith and Jigba, Lockett and DK, and no and
Ooh,
Noah Fant at tight end for my man Gino.
They had
that's
one of
gonna
the
be
top
nice.
drafts. I
And
think
they
this is
got a
the
good offensive
Eagles.
line.
Hey,
Yeah.
Vernie, y'all could have traded for Lockett. He could have been ran number one for y'all.
All right, man. I'm gonna end this.
I
You just be
Hey,
saying
mean,
stuff,
guys out
bro.
there.
hey,
Hey, you
I'm
might be
with
able
You
to
just
Vernon.
see
be
me at a
I'm with
just
concert.
Vernon on that one. I'm with Vernon on
come
that one.
on, like
You might be at
you
a
just want me to run with. I
concert.
can't run with everything. The reason why we go back and forth because you just want me to run with just the most the stuff. Don't say it for my
I,
team if you wouldn't say it for yours.
for that, I wouldn't like Lockett on my team as a wide receiver.
Yes,
Are you?
as a number
Is
one,
Lockett garbage to y'all?
as a
I
number
thought we were
one,
laughing at something else. Like, are we
as a number
serious?
one.
Yeah.
No,
Over the guys that the fucking Colts have?
no, I'm
Hell
talking about for you.
yeah.
I'm talking about for the Bengals.
Do I want him over Chase?
Before
No.
you say they
If
could go
we
to the
didn't
Colts.
have
Put them on the
Chase,
Bengals first and then tell me how
Different
great they're gonna be.
situation. Different
Yeah.
situations.
I'm just
Bengals
saying
got
though, like
receivers.
no,
but
no,
like
they
no.
got.
we're really not taking Lockett as a wide receiver.
No, I'm not saying
That's
Lockett's a good
crazy.
receiver, but not.
That's
I
crazy.
wouldn't take him as number one.
That's
He's been a career number two.
bruh. He's a number one for the Colts, bro. If y'all were to trade for Lockett, he would be a legitimate number
I
one
mean,
for
he
y'all.
would be the best receiver on the roster. That's for sure.
He'd be the
Like
most.
not
Yes,
even
he'd be the
close.
most experienced. Yes, based on the
Not
experience and
even
all that. Yes,
close.
absolutely. Because
Yeah,
he's what 8 years in the league. Yes, he has the most experience. Of course, he'd be the best. But
Buddy is cold.
I'm
Like
not.
it's
Look,
crazy.
listen. Especially in the red zone, like he don't drop touchdown passes. Like I
That
look,
nigga don't
I'm
drop
with.
shit.
I'm just saying, I have nothing against Lockett, but I mean,
hey, I'll be honest though. That'd be an upgrade for the
Eight-
Colts. I ain't even gonna lie.
84
yes, but
catches.
when you got a
84
team when
catches with Geno
nobody's have
Smith as
over three
quarterback.
years of
That's
experience at
crazy.
receiver, like of course, like you bring in a vet, it's gonna be an upgrade. Like, come on, you can say. I mean,
Well,
same thing with OBJ in Baltimore. Like
if I
they
have
got a
an
bunch of young
opportunity to
receivers.
bring in
Like you
Tyler
bring in a
Lockett
vet, of course, it's
as a
gonna be an
Colts
upgrade.
fan, I'm all over that. Like, I damn near can't even believe y'all responses. Like, that's crazy. I thought everybody it was a consensus that Tyler Lockett was a dude. Like,
Yeah, but then you talk about size and like he doesn't have size. He's short. He has speed.
oh,
And he
he
got
could
great
be the number one
hands. But
receiver for the Colts.
I'll say this, Jared. The reason why is not even a knock on Lockett. I just like I would rather the Colts go get T Higgins from you guys, something like that, because I
Man,
think the
hey,
Colts need receivers with big catch radius, with a
we can
big catch
talk about
radius.
it. We can
Yeah.
talk about it. We ain't gonna be able to
So
pay him, man.
no,
Unless
I
Burrow
agree.
just do some unconventional shit with his contract, we ain't gonna be able to pay him. So
Yeah, but no, that's all. That's the only reason why I said I just and again not a knock on Richardson because I told you I'm rooting for the dude, man. I'm all for my man. Matter of fact, I wore my Colts hat for my man Richardson tonight. Like I'm
you
all
know
for
what,
my
bro?
you're hilarious.
I was looking at that
yeah
because I got y'all on
yeah
the small things. I'm like,
yeah
you got on
yeah
fucking Colts hat?
yeah.
That's crazy.
That's from my man Richardson, man. Like I'm rooting for him, but at the same time,
Definitely
like I
want to see
said,
guys succeed,
I
man.
hope.
But
Yeah, I just I think he's gonna need a guy, those guys with bigger catch radiuses, until he can, because he's gonna have to fine tune some things to his game. That's all. So,
Yep.
and that's the one thing, though, Vernon, you was talking about with the Colts in the quarterback situation. Y'all had probably what the league says is one of the most friendly quarterback coaches around in Frank Reich, and y'all couldn't get it to work. So that's a little bit of a issue, if you ask me.
yeah,
Yes, but when
my
you
guy Tyler Lockett had 100 catches for
And you
10
still unlock
touchdowns
it
in 2020, bro. I'm like,
you
I'm
said in
flabbergasted
2020, you
right
talking about
now.
3 years
Like,
ago?
that's crazy. But I mean,
two seasons ago.
he had
Yes, what are we
84
talking
last
about?
year though.
Okay.
Yeah.
84 and 9 touchdowns.
No, Lockett's legit, bro.
I'm
Like
not
I
He's
gonna
said,
very
like.
legit.
he would be the number one receiver in Indy. And so, like,
That's
if you were
crazy.
like Jared, if you were like,
Yes,
hey, this is
absolutely.
what they Gary do. Like, if I was a Colts fan, I would be like, hey, bring him because it would
Even
be
at this
worth it.
point,
Even at this point, it
you
would be
do
worth it.
that.
Yeah,
Like
it would be
you
worth
do
it.
that in a
Yeah,
heartbeat. You do
yeah,
that.
yep. I agree.
That's all I'm saying. But
I
that's all
agree.
I was saying. I no way, shape, or form I was not saying like he was top five or nothing. But
No, he'd be an upgrade here for
like
sure.
you would be all over that.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me see something real quick. Just for giggles.
Oh boy.
He's
I just
probably
want. I
searching
just want.
T.Y. Hilton stats or something.
T.Y. Hilton's not on the team no more. What are we talking about?
Now we had a discussion before about him being a number one. Me and Justin was trying to tell you that he's not a number one guy, but we had some disagreements there.
Hmm. Well, you know me. I'm just here to disagree.
Yeah, I see.
We
I
know.
know.
I just have to disagree.
We know.
Let me find him.
What you trying to find, bro?
Cause I just want to see. I just want to see what Pittman did last year. That's what I was looking for. Player search. Let me see what he did last year. under. There we go. Let me bring him up. Let me see. Let's see
And
what his stats was.
get your game
He
up.
had
I
99
know. I
catches,
was searching.
925 yards, and 4 touchdowns.
Okay, and then the season before. Let's see. Season before that, he had 88 catches
88 for
for 1080
1,000.
for 1082 and six
1,082.
touchdowns. Okay, so I'm all right. I just want to see like is he just compared to like what number ones are doing like for a young guy that's just learning. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure he's double covered during those too. I'm
I mean,
sure of
could
it.
be.
But
He's
you
not.
watch a
I'm gonna
game.
tell you now,
You
he's not.
look,
He's not.
if you're okay with Michael Pittman Jr. as your number one, that's totally fine. I'm not gonna argue with you. That's totally fine. But you tell me.
I
I don't
mean, it
watch
just
the game.
depends on like
You tell me.
compared to who and what's available.
It's not about that, bro. Like there's definitely intangibles. There's definitely
Yeah,
circumstances. There's all that kind of stuff. So if you're okay with him as your number one, be
but if you're giving me a choice of someone else, then if I mean if I I have to be okay right now
that's
because he's my
yeah,
number one.
that's
But if
cool.
you're saying, hey, look, hey, Vernon, you can have Michael Pittman or you can have DK Metcalf or somebody else, one of these other Hopkins or one of
I'm,
these other super elite or AJ Brown, one of those guys, then of course I'm gonna take those because
I'm,
they've
I,
already proven themselves as an
well, I'm just
elite
saying. Well, I'm
receiver.
just saying. Even if you get out of that scope, right? So if you look at whether it's C.D. Lamb, Jalen Waddle, even Devontae Smith or Terry McLaurin, Armand St. Brown,
Okay.
freaking Amari Cooper, Mike Evans, like even Christian Kirk last year. You know what I mean? Like I'm just saying, like Garrett Wilson. Like there's a lot of guys who produced at the receiver position
Mm-hmm.
and weren't necessarily just the primary target at receiver. That's all. And he was. Pittman was the primary guy last year.
Shit, I
Uh,
can't even name any other Alec Pierce.
Alec Pierce,
I
and
don't
then
even
they
know
had
who the
Paris
other
Campbell
receivers
last
are.
year.
But
They had Paris
hey,
Campbell
like I
last year,
said,
but then he
if
left.
that's if you like it, I love it. So I'm not even
It's
gonna get
it's
in the
not
middle of
about
that.
what I like. It's just
No,
I,
no, no, no,
I
no.
I
have to
mean,
deal with the team that's dealt. Just like you don't like a lot of things on the Bengals, but it's the Bengals. It's your team. It's what's there. You can't do
real,
nothing.
real talk.
I
Brandon
would take the
Ayuk.
Bengals receivers
If that's the
any
say
day,
all be
but
all, then there would be no conversation about sports.
oh no,
Well,
no,
you
I'm
just
just
have
saying
you
that like
guys. That's
no,
just it.
absolutely. But
Then
you can't
we
say,
can't
well, if I
talk.
like
There's
it,
nothing to talk about.
then you love it.
If that's the say all be all, there's nothing to talk about. Like
Right.
Hey,
That's what I'm saying.
we're
Like you
talking
can't.
about it.
So don't say if I like it or love it, because
But
you
we've
gotta give
talked
me
about it
choices.
for like 3 episodes, bro. So at this point, I'm saying after hours and hours of dialogue about it, if that's I'm throwing in putting my cards on the table. I'm cool with it. Like I'm at this point, I'm cool with it. That's all I'm saying. We've talked
hey,
about it though. We've
And
hey,
I'm
talked
real,
about it a number
hey,
of
and I'm
real
times.
saying
talk
I'm
though.
not cool with it unless you give me more choices. What you
Hey,
about to
real
say,
talk. This is kind of shocking. when I, Juju, Jerry Judy, Brandon Ayuk, Chris Godwin, T. Higgins. Those are just the five. Those five are right up, like they're even above Michael Pittman in terms of like the yardage and all that from last year. And I'm
production?
saying like none of those guys are elite to me though. That's what that's all I'm saying. Like I don't think those
And
would be
who's
considered.
throwing them the ball?
You tell me who was throwing Jerry Judy the ball.
I don't know.
Russell
You want to
Wilson
get
Shit, that might have been Ike.
okay.
'Cause
So
for all
do
we
you really
know,
want to compare that?
to who? Matt Ryan?
Yeah. Do you really? Did
yeah,
you watch Russell Wilson last
I
year?
did watch Russell Wilson last year,
So do
that's
you really want to?
fucking.
Do you really want to go down that rabbit hole and
but
argue?
then who? But then who else? Corey Sutton was injured most of the year, so he was the only target. It was nobody else to throw it to, so he was getting forced the ball.
No, they had tight ends too, buddy.
Okay, so what? How many catches they tight end had versus how many catches our
I
tight
would
ends
I
had?
would have to look it up. I
Okay, I'm
didn't
just
I
saying
didn't look.
like
Like you're trying to defend it, and I get
I'm
it,
just trying
but
to
you're
understand.
not even realizing. Like okay, so Brandon Ayuk, what do you have? 3, 4 quarterbacks last year, and still produced 1,000.
Okay, but all those quarterbacks are good.
Really?
They're all just better than
They're all
MVP Matt
just
Ryan.
okay.
They
Just
are.
leaps and bounds better than Matt Ryan.
They
All right.
are.
Okay.
Every one of them.
All right. Hey, we can end the show. I'm good now.
So which one? Which one is better than? Which
Hey,
one Matt
I'm
Ryan is
done.
better than Jared? Oh man, y'all are wow.
I don't think we're the wild ones, but hey,
So
I'm
y'all
gonna
saying
sit
he
over.
better? So you saying Garoppolo So you're saying Matt Ryan is better than Garoppolo? He's better
Hey,
than Trey Lance,
just
and he's
curious,
better than Purdy.
who threw the ball to Terry McLaurin throughout his career so far?
Um,
Exactly.
Alex Smith.
What? You know when Alex Smith went there, right? That was infection leg Alex Smith.
Okay, you mean come back as the player of the year, Alex Smith?
No, not comeback player of the year.
So he didn't come back and throw it to Terry McLaurin after that? I'm pretty sure he did.
It don't matter.
Okay, okay,
If
yep,
Alex
yep.
Smith
Let's say this.
if
Alex
that's the
Smith
card
was
you're throwing
MVP
out,
for
you
1
lose.
year. Who else has he had throwing in the ball?
How many? He's only been in what 3 years? This is going into his fourth year. How many years Terry
I
McLaurin?
think this is going into his 5th year.
His
Actually,
fifth. Oh, that's
I
right.
think so.
He just got read up. So him. Let's see. Alex Smith. Who was the other guy? Came in after he
Brandon,
got
just
hurt.
stop. Bro.
It
Just
doesn't
stop.
matter.
Just
But
stop.
then
Yeah, it
again,
doesn't
who else
matter.
do they have? What's
Okay.
their number two?
But I'm
So you're
saying,
saying these guys
but
like there's three receivers, like there's
all I'm saying is that you have guys who are either in a similar situation or have other guys next to them who are still producing at a higher level than your number one,
okay.
quote unquote.
And then again, like CD, all these guys that you name are they're the primary targets.
Is Michael Pittman your primary target?
You just said he was.
So what are you arguing?
I'm just saying, like, if we're saying that we got better quarterbacks throwing to
Better quarter. Okay, you can't even name Washington's quarterback, but he's better.
okay,
Like I'm
better.
done. I literally have nothing else to say. If,
Okay,
if that literally is your argument, you can't name somebody, but yet you want to say he's better.
but you
Okay,
bring up CD Lamb, you bring up Brandon Ayuk. Okay, let's say Terry
It's-
McLaurin is the outlier, one outlier. Who else you named on that list?
he's not the outlier.
Who's
But
okay then? Like because all the other
Is,
ones have
is Dak
better
Prescott
quarterbacks
good?
than what we've had.
Dak Prescott's good. That's what you're telling me.
He's better than Matt Ryan.
Okay.
I mean, that's subjective, but okay.
Yeah. Okay.
It's crazy because the same guys y'all down.
Is Zach
It
Wilson?
be the
Is Zach
same
Wilson
guys
have-
y'all give props to
Bro,
when it benefits y'all. It is
my whole
crazy.
thing has been y'all quarterbacks play hasn't been that bad.
Okay.
I just
All right.
said that I thought this whole time that y'all were number one wide receiver away from being status quo as far as Colts. Like that's what I'm saying. Like
And then
the
I say,
situation
okay,
haven't
cool.
been that.
Say
Carson
that,
Wentz
and
did
then I
not
say,
play that terrible
He
of a
did not.
season.
He did
and
not.
then I
wasn't
say,
that
okay,
bad.
when you talk about number ones, I say, give me an example of number ones, like what makes somebody number one. And nobody can give me a clear cut definition of what's number one. You bring up numbers. I look at Michael Pittman numbers. I'm like, okay, cool. He went for 1,000 yards. He had double digit touchdowns before. Like I'm looking at like what makes somebody a number one to say that, hey, look, he has no ability to
A
be a number
guy
one.
who can get open and create separation
And dominate his
consistently
opponent.
and dominate his opponent.
And if I
Okay.
throw it up
Does
to
a
him
quarter
one
does
on one, he's gonna
quarterback
come
play
down
have
with it.
anything to do with that?
Huh?
Does quarterback play have anything to do with that? That's what
Yeah,
I'm
you gotta
asking.
put the ball in the right spot, Vernon.
Okay,
So,
hold on,
so
Jared. Let
what
me
I'm
ask you.
saying
Hold
is,
on.
what I'm
Let me
saying
ask you
is,
a quick question.
has our quarterback play been consistent?
Can I ask you just a quick question
Cool.
before?
It's
Has
been
it
good
been
enough to be better
okay?
than
I'll put it like this:
2010.
has our quarterback play been above average?
Yes, it's been right about
What
average.
year? No, I
Yeah.
said above average.
The last
Carson
two,
Wentz was
bro.
Because you
above
can't
average.
ask you
Carson
can't-
Wentz was above average.
Carson Wentz.
was not above. Well, okay, if you call that above average, but he threw.
What's average then? Because now we're asking. Okay, give us the baseline for what average is, and we can tell you what year it
said
was above average.
Okay, so do you look at
What's
okay.
average? No.
So-
Don't ask me nothing. You tell me
Throw
what
out a
average is.
touchdown to interception
I look
ratio.
at? Is that it?
I mean, just throw that. We can start there. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you can say his touchdown to Carson Wentz was like 27-11. So okay, cool. You'll get it on that point. But then you look at somebody like Lamar, above average. You look at Mahomes, which is we say he's elite.
They're elite.
Okay, they're all elite. So
Above average. You just named two elite ones.
Okay.
You said Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes, right?
okay, so
And Joe
above.
That's
All those are well above average. Like,
Okay, then let's go to somebody like Tua. What do you consider Tua?
I would say
Above
he's
average? Okay, so then you look at a
Okay.
Herbert, above average.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll just take them two. I won't even go nowhere. You even take Dak Prescott. I'll throw him in that mix. And you take those three guys and you compare them to any quarterback that we done had, and I guarantee since Luck's been gone.
Carson Wentz was 27-7, by the way.
Okay, 27-7. I had a couple more interceptions. Cool. 27-7. Now take his numbers, that's for his best year, what that 1 year he was here, and you
No,
compare it.
he had 33-7 in 2017.
Okay, cool. You take
And he
that
also
too.
had 27-7 again in 2019.
Okay, but then look at fumbles lost. Because that's
all
also something.
quarterbacks lose fumbles, bro. There's not a quarterback in the league that doesn't fumble.
Okay, but when you talk about turnovers, you have to also look at fumbles also, because that counts as a turnover for.
Okay, so everybody that has more than 7 interceptions, they're gonna have more. Okay, so you factor in what, maybe 5 or 6 sack
I
fumbles?
don't know. Y'all seeing it. Y'all looking at it. I'm sure y'all. Tell how intently y'all looking at your screen. Sure, somebody's looking this up. If you look at those three and you compare them to our quarterback
Carson Wentz
play.
has lost 8 fumbles his entire career.
Okay, so even with that, you compare Carson Wentz play. If you're saying that's the best out of the bunch we done had, and you compare them to Tua, Herbert, and Dak Prescott numbers, I guarantee you they're not close.
Dak was 23 and 15 last year.
Who?
Yeah, I don't know.
Dak was 23 and 15 last year.
27-7. I don't think Burrow has thrown less than double-digit interceptions his whole career.
Okay, but who was he throwing?
Yeah, he had 4 the first weekend of last year.
Who was he throwing?
I mean, that don't really. You can't really use that. Like,
okay, so again, let's take numbers out of it. Now, when you watch them play, how many games?
Oh no, we can't do that, because that's what I was gonna say about the number one receivers. But I held that back.
But
I held back the eye test. So now we can't talk about the eye test.
We can't talk about the eye test.
This conversation's over. You can tell a number one receiver by the eye test. But
I'm talking about quarterback play. Okay, we can talk about eye test with receivers, but we talking about it's a dependent position though.
You can't look at a receiver and tell by his route running, his ability to come down with a jump ball. If you can't tell by that who's the number one, then I don't know what to tell you.
But like you said, also ball placement. There's a whole bunch of other things that play into being the number one too. Because regardless of what your ability is, if somebody can't get the ball to you in the right place, it doesn't matter. And
okay,
Carson
so
Wentz's eye test, when you watch him play, he lost us at least 3 games. At least 3 games on pass play.
That's crazy. Like
right.
that means
if those 7 are at
crucial, else was the issue, right?
But if those 7 interceptions are at crucial moments, at game-turning moments in the fourth quarter, you look at the Tennessee game, you look at the Tampa Bay game, you look at the Raiders game, you look at the Jacksonville game. Them 4 games he lost with his arm by himself.
Okay, so it was just all on him.
No, gotcha. I'm just saying, like, those are 4 games that he made. Well, we'll just say one play that he made that costed us 4 games that would have had us in the playoffs. He probably will still be our quarterback if we'd have made the playoffs.
Then I would ask you how many plays that receivers couldn't get open, how many drops that they had. It's just
okay. Then so then
we put that number one receiver in that situation, and then see how that calculates out, and then we could talk about it.
Okay, then it goes back to when you talk about number ones and you talk about the elite number ones, because a number one is a number one, but we're talking elite.
When we say number one, right. we don't mean highest stats. When I say number one, I mean you're a number one talent.
You're a number one talent.
That's what I mean.
Number one talent. So even with that, like, how many really has elite number one talents? Elite number one receivers in the NFL.
I mean, every team has one.
Every single team.
The Washington Commanders fucking suck, and they have Terry.
Who's Jacksonville elite number one?
Christian Kirk.
Elite number one. He just got.
No.
Right.
Every team doesn't have an elite, but you gotta have a number one.
Right, but again, like we said, all number ones ain't created equal.
Okay, so let me see. So there are some teams that probably have more than one. If we're being honest. So
when you compare it to other ones, yeah, you could say that.
No, period. They can go to another team and be an elite number one.
That's what I'm saying. When you compare, like, if you move them to a different team, yes, compared to that number one that's already there that you may consider, yes.
So let's see. I'm just gonna start naming some guys. So we got Justin Jefferson, and please don't ever try to tell me that Kirk Cousins is elite, but that man's putting the numbers. But that's another conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, Jalen.
So those are elite guys, right?
You tell me.
No, I think all those guys are elite.
Okay,
All
so
those guys are elite.
you tell me to stop when I name someone
Damn,
who is not.
Devontae Smith is elite.
No, I said Devontae
He
Adams.
said Devontae
Oh,
Adams.
okay. I'm
Yeah, Adams.
tripping.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll
Yeah, no, he
automatically
just
cross
named
my
like
Uh,
the top, probably the top five
uh,
receivers in the
I
league right
was
now.
thinking, I was like, damn. But yeah,
Stephon.
all right. That was
I
on
said
me.
Jalen. I said Jalen Waddle. Stephon
You didn't
Diggs.
say Jalen Waddle. You said Tyreek Hill.
I said both
But
of them.
they got two number ones, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, they took number ones.
I'm rolling with
I would
Jalen
put
Waddle being
Tyreek
number
above
one.
Jalen Waddle, but I think on a different team,
I'll
maybe
say this:
he could
two
be a number
years.
one somewhere.
Jalen's first 2 years have been pretty daggone impressive in
Yeah,
He's
Minnesota.
yeah.
fire.
So what? Stephon Diggs. I named CeeDee Lamb earlier. Um, Devontae Smith and AJ Brown.
Okay,
Terry McLaurin.
okay.
Uh, what's his name? Armand St. Brown from Detroit.
I think at that, I think
Uh,
right there, we're probably into just number ones after right there, starting with him.
okay,
I think
so
above that, that's all elite. Like
But
all those guys are elite. Even if you
where
could throw
does Michael
Hopkins,
Pittman Jr. fall into that at?
he was
That's
still
what we're
going.
saying. Like that's
He's
we can
just
name more than
I
we
think
can
he's just
name
the
more
number
than
one.
okay, so let me keep
And a
naming
lot
them.
of
And
those
you
guys he
tell me
named were on the
where.
same team. So you look
What?
at Waddle and you look at, you know what I mean? Like he
So
named.
you tell me like when you would insert Pittman in. So if Armand starts the just the one and not elite, so then Amari Cooper, you had Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, you had Garrett Wilson, you had
And
DK, Tyler
I
Lockett.
would probably even move Evans to the bottom of that elite tier too, because I think when
Evans is solid. Yeah,
I
when
think
he's
that's what I'm saying.
healthy.
I would
Yeah,
probably move him to the bottom of that elite tier too.
when he's healthy, yeah,
Yes,
Evans is
absolutely.
legit. Yeah, I'm with you.
He's
I'm
a
with you
definite.
there.
He dominates the game.
He's quietly like,
Yep,
yeah, he's
yep.
yeah, I like Mike Evans. I'm with
That's what
you
I'm
on
saying.
that.
I would probably move him to the bottom of that elite
Um,
tier. Along with
DK,
DeAndre Hopkins too. When he's healthy,
Hopkins,
I would
yep,
put Hopkins up there in that
Hopkins,
elite tier too. Absolutely.
Hopkins, yep, I forgot about Hopkins. T Higgins,
I think Higgins, like
Christian
I said,
Kirk,
all of them are. I think those are ones. Those are not
okay,
elites.
Chris
None of them.
Olave,
He only got 1 year in this belt. I think he, like I said, he has potential to move up. Like any of these guys can move up into elite in the right situation. But right
so have
now,
we Mike Williams, Keenan Allen.
yeah, see, I think those are both number ones because without each other, they don't dominate.
You don't think they would be dominant? All right, DJ
That's
Moore.
what I can't go off of what they may be. I just got to look at what they do. Because you look at like Tyreek Hill and Waddle. Like Waddle went crazy when you can't double somebody too. Like you know what I mean? Like one on one with these receivers, they're all pros. So
Yeah, so like Deontay Johnson, DJ Moore, shoot, I don't even know who else we
but
got.
that's what I'm saying. Like
Missing, but like,
I think
where would Pittman fit in line with what we're saying? I guess that's my question. So with
as just
everybody
a regular. I think he's just a regular number one.
so out of anybody that I just named, do you take him over any of them?
he's not a number one receiver, Vernon.
Yeah, over not none of the elite guys.
I'm saying anybody
Over
I just named.
like he's
Anybody that's under the elite ones, like the DJ Moores and them, yes, you could put him
Not
in.
a,
I put him in that group.
not a chance. Oh, but who do you? So you take him over the Keenan Allens, Mike Williams, DJ Moore, Armand St. Brown, those guys. You take him over
No,
them.
because his body of work isn't big enough. I can't say that off of two
I don't even
seasons.
I don't even know if I take Michael Pittman Jr. over Tyler Boyd.
Okay, these are the same guys you want to get rid of. So I mean, that's cool.
I never said I wanted to get rid of
These are the
Tyler
same
Boyd.
guys you don't want to pay. So it's okay.
I never said that. I never said I didn't want to pay.
He said they can't.
I said I don't think they can. That's what I said. I never said they
Hey,
shouldn't.
those
I
guys,
never said
you
that.
figure it out. They've shown that they can do it. Teams
What,
have
what
shown
are
they
you
can
talking
do it.
about?
I'm just saying, teams shown they can do it if you that guy.
Like I'm lost. Like
I'm just saying, you're saying that you don't think they're going to be able to pay him, and I'm just saying when players are those guys, like when they believe in the player, they pay him.
who have
Like
you
he's
seen?
not going to get number
Who
one
have you
money.
seen
Like
pay
what do you
two
think you
wide
got?
receivers $30 million a season in the
They're not going to.
quarterback?
You don't have two $30 million receivers.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what they're gonna make, bro.
T Higgins
Nobody's gonna
and
pay
Chase.
Boyd is not making that. We was talking about
Nah.
Boyd.
I said two.
Higgins
said
isn't.
two.
Higgins ain't. You think you're gonna pay
Higgins is
Higgins the
gonna
same you're
get
paying
paid,
Chase?
bro.
He's
Higgins
not
is
not.
gonna get paid. Chase is gonna get paid. Whether it's with the Bengals or
It
not,
ain't
I
gonna be
don't know.
the same
They're both
amount.
gonna get paid. They're gonna get paid.
T
I don't know
Higgins
how
gonna
the
get
the
a
same
lot
math
of
amount.
money.
works, But like, if the Bengals choose not to pay Higgins, he's gonna go
Okay, how
somewhere
much do
else.
you think Chase is worth?
I don't know what the
That's
scale is
you
worth.
can't
I don't
ask.
think none of these niggas is worth anything of what they getting, but
Okay, so let's
I know they worth.
I,
I mean, Chase
let's
Higgins.
say
Chase is worth the top. Higgins is probably
okay.
gonna get the top.
So let's see, Chase is was it? I think the top right now is like 25 mil a year.
Chase is gonna get
Yeah,
that. Yep.
with
Well,
Okay,
Tyreek
Tyreek
Hill.
makes
that's what I'm
30, I
thinking.
think.
Tyreek got
Yeah, Tyreek
25,
made
right?
30, 30.
30. Okay,
Yeah.
so I say Chase. Okay, Chase get 30. Let's say like they recess the market. Let's say 31. Where do you put Higgins?
Where I put Higgins and what other teams put Higgins is going to be two completely different things.
Okay,
Obviously, I
okay.
would
Then
put him.
where do you think another
Obviously,
team is going to put
I
Higgins
would. I
compared
don't
to a Tyreek
know.
Hill and Chase? I'm just saying.
We're
I'm just.
stupid.
It's
I
a
don't know
thought.
what we're gonna do. I keep trying to
I
tell
said
you.
no. I said another team, not y'all. Where do
Oh,
you think
another
another?
I
team's
would
gonna
I
pay.
would say
Okay,
Another
this.
Justin.
team,
What would you
they're
think?
going to give him the
Higgins
ball.
is probably gonna get
20
20
something.
plus. Yeah, 20
Yeah.
plus
So
million.
He's gonna
okay,
get.
so let's say
He's gonna
21.
be if the Bengals don't re-sign him, he's gonna be paid somewhere else as a number one dog receiver. Like if the Jets was just or that's I'm not I just threw that
No,
name out there. But if the
but
say the Patriots or something that's not in there,
hmm
they wouldn't do it either. But if a team is gonna
well, they might because
acquire,
you remember they started throwing around money last
They
couple
did
years.
yeah,
go
So
on a
I
spending
don't think they
spree, a
cashed
tight
out like
end
that
spending
though.
spree, but it was
they
weird.
But I
did.
was
But
You
just saying,
remember?
if any team was going to say, okay, the Bengals aren't re-signing Higgins, he's a free agent. I'm going to pursue Higgins. He's going to get the ultimate wide receiver bag. That's what I'm saying.
so so you're saying 30? 'Cause 20 ain't
And
an ultimate receiver bag.
he's going to get up there. Yeah.
Well,
Because
20
I'm
20
just looking at Odell,
is
them they're getting 18 for 1 year. So I look at like elite, like somebody. I mean, somebody
yeah,
who's
but you
younger who's
can't
getting paid more. Like
but
you're looking
you can't
20
count Odell.
plus,
It is a 1 year, and a lot of that is incentive based
right?
too.
But
So like
Right.
you can't
okay. Let's
account.
just even say 15 for. I
He's
mean, a
going to get way
veteran.
more than. Well, you talking about Higgins?
No, I'm just
Somebody's
saying
going to
like
pay
Odell.
that
I'm just using
boy.
Odell as an example. Like if we're looking at a
He's
younger
a bad
guy that
example. But I'm saying Odell's a bad example because he's on a 1 year proven contract with a lot of incentives, and they had to. Baltimore had to overpay him because they needed to get him in the build. That's lit. So he's not a. He's just not a good example of.
I can see T Higgins easily getting a 4 year 116 contract, like easy. And that's what,
Yeah,
29
you can see
million?
that. Yeah, I can see that. I say I wouldn't be shocked if his next contract is like 4 or 5 years, and he's gonna exceed 100 million.
Yeah, for sure.
okay.
Absolutely.
And he's not a top five receiver, but you
No,
got to
he's not
remember
a top
he's
five
young.
receiver.
He's young. He's a big target, and he's been
Yep.
productive.
And he shows that he could be a number one. Hey,
Yep.
T Higgins is down there. Let me put this boy up. He got a good chance of coming down with that
And
boy.
he's had some games, whether it was the Super
The
Bowl or
Super Bowl,
playoff
like
games.
yeah, like
Yeah,
yeah,
like
he's
he's
shown
had
some
some
flashes.
games where on a big stage where eyes are watching, he's shown up.
Yep.
So he's gonna
He's
command
gonna
some
get
money.
paid. Like
Hmm
he's gonna get a nice contract.
Okay.
I don't know if it's gonna be with us though. Like we'll see, but
You got to think AJ Brown got 100 million.
I also think you could get other wide receivers
But
though.
then
Like I
AJ
feel
was
like
also
drafting
like he
wide
was the only
receivers is
guy
complicated.
because Tennessee gave him that. They just moved that contract to Philly.
Tennessee didn't pay him. That was the
Yeah,
Yeah,
thing.
no, the
they did.
Eagles
They paid him
did.
the year before. 'Cause remember we was talking
No,
about
they
Julio
no
when
they
Julio
didn't.
got there too. Yeah. Okay.
They did not. They didn't pay AJ.
Nah, he agreed to a new
AJ got it
contract
when he
with
got
that
to
trade.
Philly.
Okay.
Literally right after the trade, he got the contract
Yeah.
Yeah,
in Philly. So it was Tennessee didn't pay him.
Yeah. Well, he deserves it. Of course.
That he does.
yeah, he does. Yeah, ain't no argument there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, final thoughts. Anyone? You?
Man, we
You?
talked a lot. I don't
We
even know if I
did
got
talk a
anything
lot.
else to say.
I
Go
guess
ahead,
that
bro.
that all could have been our final thoughts.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
going at it.
yeah. That was
All
the
right, man.
final thought.
Well, I guess this has been the Epic Podcast. See y'all next week.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Holla.